insurance options for next year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is December 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit hummingbirdins.com. That's hummingbirdins.com.
Celebrate the season with the very best Christmas music ever made with iHeart Christmas. Streaming commercial-free right now on your free iHeartRadio app. From shopping, gathering with friends, or wrapping presents, iHeart Christmas is the perfect soundtrack to your holidays. Listen now commercial-free on your favorite smart speaker and the free iHeartRadio app. Just search Holiday. Free never sounded so good.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville.
Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat for this
Football Friday.
Yes, sir. It's Conference Championship week in college football, week 14 in the NFL. We've got coaching issues to talk about. Apparently, the North Carolina Tar Heels are, that's big head hunting.
Well, I wanted to get to know my girlfriend's age group.
I really wanted to know to get to know Gen Z a little bit better.
I'm really hoping I can find out who Sabrina Carpenter is. Maybe find out what a shabuzi is.
Bill Belichick apparently doesn't just like to, turn back the clock when it comes to his relationships. He also likes to turn back the clock when it comes to his working situation.
Young men, we're going to listen to some Steely Dan.
It's really going to send the message to those 18-year-old kids coming out of high school. North Carolina Tar Heels apparently in discussions with Bill Belichick. He talked. We don't know anything about it other than he has spoken to someone or someone's in Chapel Hill about the head coaching position.
I'm not going to lie to you. In my whole life, I don't think I've wanted many things more than I want Bill Belichick to wind up at North Carolina.
And why is that?
Oh, because it amuses me.
Just because
because I can't get over the look. All right, and now you take a journey with me. Nobody has ever disputed his ability to coach football.
Mm-hmm.
It's the draft that's a bit of a problem. Now, he has shown a great ability to get teeny boppers to do what he wants, evidenced by the girl that he is currently sleeping with. So I think this could be just a mess of fun. It's almost like, you remember when we were kids and you had Bill Nye the Science Guy and you went, look at this goober. This will be fun. But you watched it and he sang the song, Bill, 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 every week. Every single week. I want this to happen so bad, and I don't care. I really don't care in any way. I just think it would be so fun.
So much fun from the outside, but would it be fun for Tar Heel fans? As one myself, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Explain your derision here.
I just don't know.
Because do you feel better about John Summerall?
No, God, no. I'm not saying I'm not saying that there's a better option on the table. I'm just saying I could see a lot of pain coming down the road here when we have 72-year-old Bill Belichick calling the shots for the college football team, and guess what? None of the kids can relate. None of it works. Nobody's following suit. Some of them will. Some of them will fall in line. Some will be willing to play. That's just probably not going to win you anything. I don't see a 72-year-old man building a dynasty, and that's what you want, right? When you hire a new head coach, you want a guy who's going to come in.
Is that what you thought was going to happen with Mac Brown?
We had hopes.
Mac Brown's a year older than Bill Belichick, and he wasn't there for that long.
And he came in and he won some games. I get that, most of the wins came in the COVID year, but still, you went to a big bowl game with him. Things improved. I'm not saying that they wouldn't improve with Bill Belichick. I'm not saying he can't do this. I'm just saying there's a fine line we're walking here between is this a good idea or is this an astronomically terrible idea and nobody can see it coming because 6 Super Bowls. You can see all those rings in front of you and you go, he's going to lead us to the promised land. And all of a sudden,
nobody's leading you to the promised land. Gambit fans got it right. Could you win like 10 games first before we start talking about dynasty? Maybe. Could you be the best team in your own conference?
I was like,
Look, I posted this on our social media yesterday, and some of the responses were absolutely hilarious. Of Carolina fans going, I don't want Bill Belichick to coach my team. Why? What exactly? Who do you think is walking through that door? This would be like getting Cyndi Lauper to go on a date with you, and you go, well, her voice is kind of irritating. Have you looked in a mirror lately?
I mean,
you're a 4 at best, bruh. Any woman that can tolerate you for more than 15 consecutive seconds, you should hold on to like Graham Death.
Can he recruit? Is he willing to recruit?
Does he do
going to bring in people that can recruit?
I just want to know if he does the Charlie Weiss thing when he was at Notre Dame where he would just wear his Super Bowl rings and set them on the table and go, do I need to say anything else?
Right.
You think he'd bring his girlfriend with him? Like, I got her. Hold on.
She's already transferred.
I got her to do the upside down pants dance with me.
Oh my God.
We go on Carnival cruises and bring pineapple stickers with us. Coffee's for closers. I take mine with 2 creams.
I'm a closer kid. You want to learn how to win championships? You ride with me.
I was shocked that all the Carolina fans are, I don't want this. I can't figure that out to save my life.
Because
your other alternatives are all guys that are going to leave you. Straight up. John Summerall comes in and wins.
That's the point.
He's not. Because the only reason he's talking to a college team is because all these jobs that are open in the NFL or are prospectively open, he's looking at going, I'm not getting any of those. Mm-hmm. That means the Jets haven't called, shocker. The Bears haven't called. The Jaguars haven't called. All these little rumors that have been going on hadn't happened. Because if it had, you wouldn't be on Zoom calls with North Carolina. He wants to coach at all expense. He does not. This makes it very obvious to me. He does not care where it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina's got money. Carolina's got resources. And here's how I would be looking at this. You have 2 choices with this hire. You can either go young guy that's going to leave you at the first opportunity, or maybe it's time for you to get an actually good cougar.
You had one already.
Yeah, you had one cougar. The only problem is that she watched Matlock, and by 6 o'clock, she was sleepy. I don't think you have that problem with Bill.
No.
I mean, look around the ACC. What coach do you think could possibly, even if he can't recruit at the highest level, what coach in the ACC is going to beat him consistently? Dabo Swinney? Stop. They're going to read him a Bible verse? Sorry, that's not even a competition. He would destroy Dabo. He'd destroy Mike Norvell.
It feels icky. It feels icky, just like, look, Mac Brown. Mac Brown felt icky to me too. I wasn't all the way on board. He was awesome when he was here. I just don't know how long this is going to last. And now we've seen how this ends.
None of them are going to last. Name me the name that's going to be here forever. I'll wait.
I get it.
John Summerall has been at Tulane for 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
He's already looking at jumping to you. What do you think happens in a year when Auburn opens up if he were to win 10 games?
Mm-hmm.
He'll do it again. Glenn Schumann wants the Alabama job. That's his dream job. What do you think happens in 3 years if Kalen DeBoer doesn't work in Alabama and he's won 10 games twice at North Carolina?
He moves on.
He's going to be the first call.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, I really need you to take an introspective look at yourself and go outside of Mac Brown. The best coach in your program's history is Carl Torbush.
Is that fact?
At some point,
is that fact?
That's my almost 40 years of opinion.
Please, dear God, tell me that's not fact.
I can find out.
I know that is a searchable thing. I can't think of another one. I can't think of a better one. I mean, Larry Fedora probably.
Talking winning percentage or wins here.
I would go winning percentage.
Okay.
I doubt it would be Carl.
Holy Lord. The top 10.
Uh-huh.
Every one of the top 10 were gone from Carolina before I was on this earth.
Yes.
And all but one of them were gone before my father was on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Dooley would be your modern era, too.
Bill Dooley.
Dick Crum. Butch oh, my God, Butch Davis is way higher than you want him to be.
It's not been good. Look, this would be cool if it was, 5 years ago. Bill Belichick's 72 years old, and that's why we're not excited about it, because, okay, Bill's going to come in and try the college thing. Is it going to work in the next 3 years? Because that's probably all I have. That's probably all my patience has.
I'm dumbfounded. Because I thought you would be the voice of reason here. I saw all these Carolina fans on our social media, and I went, surely to God, Tank's going to come in here tomorrow and go, boys, really?
It's the best you're going to do.
And it's not even close.
I'm in the camp of, okay, if we're doing this, I'm going to be on board.
This is like
throwing out there that I'm not so hunky-spunky about maybe this ain't going to work.
This is like going to a bar, getting one of the Spice Girls to hook up with you, and you're complaining. You go back to the bar, and now you're down to Callie Cankles, because that's what you're looking at.
Well, see, I'm looking at the Spice Girl, and I'm going, this is awesome, but 6 months from now, she might burn dinner, and I'm just going to be done with it. Like, I don't think I'm going to, because honestly, how big of a screw up? Listen, this is what I'm saying. Is that's a very minor screw up in a relationship. And that's probably the worst this can go for Bill Belichick in terms of what he can bring to North Carolina as terms of winning an organization and learning how to run a professional organization. Like, he did all of those things really well in New England, correct? He was the GM. He ran everything. He will do the same for Carolina. He will be another CEO coach just like Mac Brown was. Those are all the positives. Now, there's a chance that, 3 years from now, our best season is going to be 9 wins and, we're going to lose a bowl game.
And in the
like,
chat,
that's how inconsequential this is going to be.
They're crushing you in the chat.
For what?
For your cook, your burn dinner reference.
Yeah.
Gambit fan with the first, without a doubt, one of those.
Right.
You don't date a Spice Girl because she can cook. You go pick up a nice salad. You shut the hell up.
No
okay?
doubt.
The fact she's still here is a win for you.
Right.
Now, and Detroit fan man said, now, Callie Cankles, she can cook. You want somebody who can cook?
No doubt about it.
Get you that 3, which is, in my opinion, is John Summerall. That's where I'm at.
Compared to Bill Belichick? Of course it is.
I would say in general. I've gone up and down the list. I've laughed at every one of these names because they're either guys that are going to use you as a stepping stone or they're just not that good. And historically, I'm looking at the coaches you've had in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of John Bunting and Carl Torbush and Larry Fedora and Everett Withers and Butch Davis. You know what all those guys had in common? They never had a second act. Mm-hmm. None of them. Mm-hmm. They came to Carolina either for their career to crash and burn or, in Butch Davis's case, to die. That's it.
To try to resurrect it. That was the whole...
But none of them did.
No.
You're not as appealing as you think you are.
Nope.
You're just not... This is not as pretty of a job as people think it is. Just because you've got the Jordan brand and pretty uniforms and it's a big name of a school, it doesn't make it an appealing job. It's not. I am confounded at one of, and look, I cannot stand Bill Belichick. But in terms of coaching acumen, in a time where I would say it's never been harder to hire a coach, you're denigrating this. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the metaphorical Carolina universe.
There are people who are outright pissed about this.
Which is insanity to me.
And apparently I'm hearing it's a lot of the donors as well. They're not happy about this.
Okay, if the donors are upset about this, I'll say this, and I mean it. You deserve what you're getting ready to get. Mm-hmm. You've already been shot down by Arthur Smith, of which all of your objections with Bill Belichick, you should have had the same thing with Arthur Smith. John Summerall's never proven to be a good recruiter. Mm-hmm. Glenn Schumann will use you like a dish rag and be out of here in 36 months at best.
Right.
He'll either be really successful or you'll fire him. Don't know which one. Doesn't really matter. In terms of what you do, it doesn't change anything. I don't think in my entire life of watching sports, I don't think I've ever seen a story come out where the reaction from the fan base made less sense to me. This reminds me of the Greg Schiano thing. You remember when Tennessee was ready to hire Greg Schiano?
Yes.
And the fan base absolutely lost their minds because he had been at Penn State, and we're going to hold that against you 40 years later in spite of the fact we don't really actually think you did anything wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, he was terrible in the NFL, so that was a lot. That had a lot to do.
But
with it.
He wasn't coming out of the NFL. He was the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. He had the best defense in the country. And they lost their minds, and you know what you got? Jeremy Pruitt. How'd that go for you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, it is a apples-to-apples comparison. You're whining about Bill Belichick saying, oh, we don't want that, and we'll pull our dollars. Okay. Enjoy John Summerall. I've already seen and look, I don't think he's a bad coach. There's just no winning solution there. Mm-hmm. If he's good, he'll bounce. If he doesn't win, you'll bounce him.
Yeah. There is some scuttlebutt out there about this is the administration. That the administration wants this to happen. And apparently the donors and the whoever else is in charge of the search committee had nothing to do with it. And so there's that infighting that's going to come with this as well. I'm not saying it's really important to anybody other than the inner workings of that whole organization, but when you have Bubba Cunningham already taking as much crap as he is from pretty much all sides, there's a lot going on in Chapel Hill right now from all I can tell.
The search committee, we bring you in as a tool. This ain't your decision. Boosters, this ain't your decision.
Mm-hmm.
Name me a good athletic program that are beholden to the boosters. You obviously take what they want into account.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I'm the football guy. Mm-hmm. You're the paycheck guy. Mm-hmm. There's a huge difference. To ask Texas A&M, they've had this problem for years. So has Auburn. Of the boosters are running that program. And you know what that leads to? Just a vicious cycle of Hugh Freeze and Gus Malzahn and all the different entities that you have had coaching that program. Texas A&M, same way. You blow a lot of money because you've got a lot of money. It doesn't lead to a lot of results.
Mm-hmm.
We have a slew of super chats that came in to start this here program.
All right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
First one's from Sir Jimothy. He said Goff was down, should have ended the play. Ref sucked. Here's the thing. No, he wasn't because nobody touched him. You're not down when you go down in pro football. You have to be touched down, and nobody was close to him. Trust me, I love to complain about officials, and they gave you several opportunities last night. That just wasn't one of them. And then,
here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
this also from Sir Jimothy, who said David Tepper still helping Western North Carolina. Mad respect, and it grows.
That he is. That he is. The Carolina Panthers were at W.D. Williams Elementary School yesterday. They brought the Joy to the Carolinas celebration. They had the big inflatable panther head, the tunnel that they could run out of, and the kids had a lot of fun with Sir Purr, and the Top Cats cheerleaders showed up and held a dance contest with all the kids. It's just one of those things where Carolina Panthers, they take this around pretty much the Charlotte area. They probably hit up in the Raleigh area too. I've never seen them do this here locally, but when they were putting all of this together for the Joy to the Carolinas tour this year, they decided because of what happened for Hurricane Helene, they needed to come to Western North Carolina. And so they stopped by W.D. Williams Elementary School there in Swannanoa yesterday and brought Jonathan Stewart was with them. Kenny Moore was with them as well as Buddy the Elf. He made an appearance. It wasn't that one. It wasn't the actual Buddy the Elf, but There was
from that god-awful movie that you all tell me how good it is?
Yeah, it wasn't actually Will Ferrell, but it was, guy dressed like Buddy the Elf. They had a little
Probably
sing-along.
it was probably an improvement if I had a wager. We have another super chat, and then we have another one we'll do in the next segment.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Soaring Eagle sent me a story on Instagram about Shailene Woodley, the girl that dated Aaron Rodgers. I guess that's been 2 years ago now.
Oh, yeah, the pregnant teenager girl.
Well, that was a show she was on.
Yes.
She's actually not much younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
by the way, stop doing that.
What?
I just found out that the teenage girl, the Billy Bob's daughter in Landman,
She's like
28 years old. Stop casting 28-year-olds as high schoolers. It's weird, and it makes me feel weird.
I've been watching
Now,
that show for the last few days.
It did make me feel a lot better when I found out she was 28.
Uh-huh.
Because I went, all I could think about was that line from Please Be 18.
Yeah. My favorite character in that whole show so far.
The lawyer.
The lawyer
Yeah.
that works in the house.
Yeah.
Like, he's the greatest. Like, I'm not looking. I need him to go away, please.
Get him out of the house.
Get him out of the house
Get
now.
him out of the house. You are playing with fire, and I don't like it.
I will say for once, Jeremy was quite accurate on a media suggestion to me. Landman may be the best show on
Phenomenal.
television.
It is phenomenal.
Awesome.
But anyway, to finish the story,
Yeah.
she did an interview that she said she still cries over the relationship with Aaron Rodgers,
Oh.
and that it caused her to lose her soul and her happiness. She described their time together as traumatic and toxic. And Shailene, I'm going to be honest with you. That's how I would describe my relationship with Aaron Rodgers too. It's stolen my soul with him being the quarterback of my football team. It's really worn on my happiness. It has led me to drink many toxins, and I would consider it nothing less than traumatic. So, T's and P's for you. You had to see him naked. I've just had to see him really terrible at MetLife Stadium.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. It's a Football Friday.
You can make it a December to remember with Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry and take the steps to get the smile that you want for the new year. On December 19th, they are having an Invisalign scan day. You stop in for a free simulated 3D scan that shows you how your teeth could look after Invisalign treatment. And then if you choose to move forward with your smile makeover, you're going to receive $1,500 off treatment. It makes it the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. To find out more and reserve your spot at the event, visit AshevilleSmiles.com today. Again, it's AshevilleSmiles.com.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop Deal Double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line. Plus, 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys when you switch.
Y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that jangle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with autopay. Well-qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99. Credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later.
Is your home ready for a refresh? Elevation Restoration and Floor Cleaning has you covered. From area rugs and carpets to hardwood floors, concrete, and furniture, they're your go-to team for all things clean and restored. Family owned and operated, they bring top quality service to every job. So why wait? Call Jacob today at 818-216-4605 or visit elevationrestorationnc.com. Elevation Restoration and Floor Cleaning for floors that feel brand new.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're gonna be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Hey, I go to church, just not during televised sporting events.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles studio. A reminder to you, the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive benefiting Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project. It rolls on today as well. They'll be back tomorrow. Jeremy will be back out there from 4 to 6 this evening. I hear there's a heater now.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I had hypothermia by the time I left last night.
It was pretty chilly for me last night at the Canton Christmas Parade too. Riding on the Grand Marshal float, throwing candy at the kids. That was fun.
Now the good thing is that to show up and make a donation, you don't have to be there for 3.5 hours like I was yesterday.
True.
I walked in that and I was prepared. I've done a bunch of these. I walked in that tent and every year we've had a big blower heater, and I just thought, I'm going to go in there and warm up. I'll be able to stand back home. Walked in there, first breath I took, saw it come out of my mouth, and I went, Spadudios.
Hey, but
that's not going to be awesome.
No, but that's just the kind of conditions we're willing to put ourselves in for the good of the community.
Ariel.
She's
little
a
itty bitty Ariel. I'm like, how have you not frozen?
Does she have like 18 blankets over there where she's like?
She had no
curled up?
blankets, but she did have a little beanie hat and what looked like several jackets.
That's adorable. Go by and see Ariel. You can take her a heater if you like. They can always use more over at the Ingles on Smoky Park Highway. The Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive benefiting Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Of course, want to make sure that every kid or that no kid gets left behind on Christmas this year. Eblin Charities and iHeart Media Asheville have been teaming up for this for many, many years. And go by and bring a new unwrapped toy or just a cash donation.
Sir Jimothy dropped off a box of hand warmers yesterday. I thank you. I had no idea who dropped those off. I did use a couple of them.
Yes.
And Silverado sent us a couple warmers they showed up right as I was getting ready to leave. So
awesome.
Silverado's it seems like anytime somebody needs something, they're almost like genies. Somebody needs something in the city, it is.
There it is.
And I didn't even know they were coming.
Yeah.
Girl I've never seen before said she was looking for me. They pointed her out to me. I went, in my head, I was thinking, I have no clue who this person is. And then she said, Ian. And I went, it's like a code word, like we're in a club or something.
Ian has sent me with provisions.
How did you even know I was cold? I didn't say it anywhere.
That's so great. Yeah, our good friends over at the Valley Strong Disaster Relief.org. Go check them out. Support them as well.
We have one more super chat to catch up on, then we will be back to level.
Indeed.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Red Sea said Florida will trade you one Billy Nathaniel Napier for Bill Belichick if you don't want him. I think there are a lot of teams that feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now that this is coming, this is something that if I were a Carolina fan, this is where my head would have gone yesterday. My fear is there could be a handful of coaches. Billy Napier's not one of them, but at mid-tier programs we weren't gonna fire him, but now that we know that Bill would be willing to take a college job, maybe we boot you out the door.
Right.
I
Let's
thought
give
that
Bill
going
some
in.
options.
I thought that before the Belichick thing came out because I had a chat with somebody in the college ranks on Tuesday that said, or Wednesday, that said there are not really any good jobs out there. It's Carolina, it's West Virginia, and then there's really a big drop-off.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see higher-level candidates wind up having to take those more mid-tier jobs. And it could lead to some weird late firings that don't necessarily make a ton of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the West Virginia job, just don't sleep on Rich Rodriguez getting that job back.
Really?
Don't sleep on that.
Huh.
I can't tell you. I'm not reporting that.
Yeah.
It's just I got a lot of friends at the old West Virginia, and there is a lot of momentum for that.
Really? That could be quite interesting. Well, we got all the coaching news in the headlines, so it'd be perfect opportunity for us to get the opinion of somebody who's more of an expert on this stuff than we are.
Is it untoward to ask him how big the wheelbarrow was that Dan Campbell had to use to push his
for those
cojones outside of that stadium last night?
Yes. That was a lot. The head coach, our head coach, Kent Briggs, will be joining us next in the studio. We'll talk to him about, well, the firing of Mac Brown, the possible hiring at Carolina of Bill Belichick. He is an NC State guy, so I know he doesn't have a whole lot of love in his heart for the Tar Heels, so maybe he's going to steer us wrong, but we'll see. Kent's a great guy. He'll do us right. We'll be right back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold Friday afternoon, but the trend will be our friend after a cold day today and night tonight. Milder days are ahead. Temperatures going above normal. Sunshine this afternoon. That light breeze will start to taper off a bit. 35. Tonight, clear 15. Some spots will be colder. Saturday, sunshine near 50. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 50s with a chance of showers Sunday night and Monday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by KFC. 'Tis the season to fill your table and feed the whole family with KFC's Festive Feast. Get 6 original recipe tenders, 6 pieces of classic fried chicken, 2 sides, and 3 sauces for just $25.99.
Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning has extended their Black Friday sale. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $119. Plus, if you call and mention ESPN Asheville, you'll get a free hallway cleaning. Schedule today at ZeroResAsheville.com.
At Harbor Freight, our low prices make us the place for gifts that keep on giving. Because when you give the gift of quality tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for next year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is December 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit hummingbirdins.com. That's hummingbirdins.com.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search Holiday and start listening now. You'll see your local holiday radio station, plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
And we are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingalls studio on
Football Friday.
Yeah, I love a Football Friday, and we love a Football Friday when the coach shows up. Kent Briggs, state champion head coach, former head coach of the Western Carolina Catamounts, and star of the Regular Guy podcast. You can find it linked up on thesportsocracy.com, linked up at all our social medias at The Sportsocracy as well. And you can find him on Facebook at, what is it, Coach KB?
Regular Guy KB.
Regular Guy KB, excuse me. At Regular Guy KB. On the Facebook, Kent Briggs, welcome back into the show.
Hey, it's great to be back. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving.
We did. How was yours?
It was great. I mean, I think Thanksgiving is the best holiday of them all. You know, because it's not about like, oh, did I get something? Am I going to get something? What I got somebody is that, was it what they wanted?
Yeah.
All those kind of pressures, you know. But it's all about being together with family and friends and watching football. And dang, I just think it's the greatest holiday because, you know, you always go all year long thinking about what you need, what you want, what you don't have. But on that one day, you think about what you do have.
Right.
And, you know, of course, the next day is Black Friday, so we go back into that mode, like what I need, what I don't have, and all that stuff. So
it's the one day we can all sit back and kind of take stock and be thankful for what we do have. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
And I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here today too. So I'm trying to extend my Thanksgiving. You know?
Well, we are thankful for you, and we are thankful that you come in and spend some time with us every Friday, especially when we have such wonderful, juicy little nuggets of coaching news in the world. You said just a moment ago that you did not see the game last night. The Thursday night football game between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers came down to the final seconds. The Detroit Lions kick a field goal to win it. 34-31 was the final score. Now,
You left out the part where Dan Campbell unzipped his fly, put everything he had in a wheelbarrow, and said, "What you gonna do about it?"
It said, "Here we go." So throughout the game, they had already gone for it 4 times on fourth down.
They've gone for it in 2 games with Green Bay this year. They've gone for it on fourth down 7 times. They're 6 of 7.
They were 3 of 4 last night on fourth down, and then it came down to tie ball game, 31-all, 46 seconds to go. It's 4th and inches, and Dan Campbell says, instead of kicking this field goal, I know we're getting this first down. And we get the first down, we run out the clock, call a timeout with 2 seconds left, kick the game-winning field goal from 10 yards out or whatever it was, and voila, you walk away with a win. That, my friends, is stones to me.
Well, you know, that's the way he's been, I think, since he's been there.
Yeah.
And that's his forte, and I think that's what the players rally around him. You know, the city rallies around him, and because he is going for it. And, you know, if you're going to accomplish anything in life, you got to go for it. You know, not to be afraid. You know, the worst thing you can do is be afraid to lose. And you never can really win that way. So that was a great mentality to have for him, and, you know, what it ended up paying off.
And it just seems constantly like that. I mean, that is just a guy that I want to play for.
Right, no, you're
that
exactly right.
is a dude that I want to suit up for. I don't care.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly
and
right.
Amon St. Brown said it after the game. Like, he has told us time and time again, he believes in us. If he says go for it, there's no question. We're all in.
Right.
Because we know
exactly.
we have he's got our backs.
No,
Dan Campbell's the guy in a fight that you're squaring off with each other, and he just starts rocking himself in the face. Like, I'll hit me harder than you will. Love that guy.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly right.
Yeah. I think he's a great example of the go-getter coach.
What we put that statement out on our YouTube chat. Finish this statement. Dan Campbell is a guy who blank. In my head, I'm envisioning this as the Chuck Norris thing. Chuck Norris hides under the bed of the Boogie Monster.
Right. He doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down.
Correct.
Right. So I guess late last week, was it? Mac Brown got fired at Carolina.
Well, technically he retired.
Well, yeah, that
we had to get the press release right.
Kent Briggs, you've been in a situation like this before. How did this go down?
Well, usually what happens in the media is different from what happens behind the scenes.
Right.
I'm sure, he wanted to come back the way he talked about it, or at least wanted to leave on his own terms.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me, in my situation, I was asked, to step down. If I step down, I'm going to, I'm going to have a contract for 2 more years and be able to teach at the school and all that. But I had a couple games left, and actually one big game left. And I just felt like, you tell your players never quit. You tell your players that, we got to fight through adversity no matter what happens. I'm going to be there. And I couldn't resign. I couldn't take the easy way and say, hey, I'm, going to retire or whatever, how they wanted me to say it. Because I just said, I'm just saying, I've got one more game. I'll evaluate. We can talk about what the situation will be in the end. But I just feel like it left my players believing I walked away from them and, before the season was over, and I couldn't do that. So I'm not sure what happened with Mac Brown, because obviously I wasn't in the behind the scenes, but I'm sure he didn't want that to happen before the NC State game.
Right.
And, when the season's over, all bets are off. Everything's negotiable, and, all the situations happen. But I always hate, especially when there's like 1 game left or 2 games left, when you make a change. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're looking at recruiting. They're looking at, the fan base being excited about, the change. But, I think players still, they want to finish with their coach, especially when it's right near the end. Again, that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, and he said as much in his post-game press conference, was that, the timing on all of this was weird, was that he said, this was what he said, first they wanted me to retire on Monday, and I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it before the end of the next game. And then they came back to him and said they wanted him to do it on Friday if he wasn't willing to do it on Monday. And he was like, well, that's worse than doing it on Monday. Like, you're going to make me do it on the day before the game? I don't want to do that either. I don't know. It's just the fact that he kept saying he wanted to come back in 2025 that I think was what finally led them down the path of, no, you're not going to come back in 2025. Stop saying that to the media.
Well, they had to get a jump on the coaching search because they were afraid that Bill Belichick was going to get to spring break with his girlfriend.
Well, let me go back and talk about my situation. We had, after it happened, we had 1 week that our players knew that I wasn't going to be the head coach next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, during that week, when players lose their, authority figure, where he's not going to be our head coach. I know that week I had several players that, missed curfew and was out partying and, thinking there was no rules anymore and we still got a game left. And I had to suspend them for the last game, and it was the hardest decision I think I've ever done as a head coach. And the reason I did, I felt like I had to stay with the standards and, when you do something wrong, when you make mistakes, or you have a decision, am I going to do it or not do it? And, and you don't get really punished when you make a mistake or do something you shouldn't do. It's like, okay, what's going to happen years down the road in a marriage when you have a chance to, do something that's going to ruin your marriage or lose your job? And I just feel like I had to make that statement, and I did. And years later, those players, I've seen them at games and stuff, and they appreciated that. But at the time they didn't, obviously, but it was hard. But I was put in that situation, because, I was no longer technically the head coach for the next year, and it just put, young players, they had the cracks there that they'd go out and do something, and that happened. So I think there is, a lot of credibility in trying to stay and finish out the season, especially if it's close.
Yeah. Well, they go from Mac Brown to now apparently the talk is Bill Belichick. There's interest apparently on both sides here, where Carolina's interested in Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick at least had enough to take the meeting. 72 years old, getting into college coaching for the first time. How would that make you feel?
Well, he's Bill Belichick, so number one, he's going to bring, I would think as a recruit or a transfer, which is probably the biggest recruits they are, would think his connection with NFL and his background there would be very attractive to a player choosing a school. Knowing that, who knows, he may be a head coach in the NFL again at some point, but all those connections that he has can really help a college player get to the next level, because even though it's not realistic in all situations, about every college player dreams of being in the NFL. And I think somebody with his status that's going to be your head coach would be very attractive. And I think that could be a real bonus for Carolina.
I just worry about how that's all going to run and what his role in recruiting is going to be, and is this going to be a game that he can play?
Well, one of the things that I think you have to remember is that he's got a litany of former coaches that are not exactly employed right now. Or if they are, you don't have Nick Saban that pilfered a ton of his guys. I think the staff could be really good. Do I think he's going to be flying all over the country recruiting players? No, I don't.
No.
Because he doesn't have to.
No, he don't have to.
I send a minion that goes, hey, you want to play for Bill or not? This is not we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
And if it comes down to, I look at it the way that Coach just said. If I'm a recruit, who do I think is going to better prepare me to play in the NFL one day? Bill Belichick or Ryan Day or Sharon Moore or Dabo Sweeney or Mike Norvell? I could do this for a minute. Because you're seeing a lot of premier coaches that have either left or retired or taken a break, and then they just never seem to come back. Urban Meyer just came out yesterday and said, I'm not coming back. Yeah, you keep floating that out there all you want to. Ryan Day is the coach of this team, and I am not the one that's going to be here to replace him. Did you see that statement?
I did not see
He basically shut it down. I'm not just not coming back for this job. I'm not coming back at all.
Right.
Of which he's not that old at all.
No, yeah, you're right. I saw that same statement. And but like Nick Saban, players go to Alabama to go to the NFL. It's pretty much, and they know Nick Saban gets them ready and has those connections. And like I said, Belichick will have a tremendous, line to the NFL. So I think that'd be very attractive for all recruits. And again, transfers and people coming in high school trying to.
Right.
That's what college football is at this point.
Oh yeah.
It's a feeder system to the NFL.
Yeah, it's turned into that. You're exactly right.
Because that's what all these guys do. Look at National Signing Day. We just talked about this. Top 13 classes in America were all either in the Big Ten or the SEC. Why is that? Because I have a better chance of going to whatever the sixth best school in Tennessee and developing myself there with Josh Heupel, because look at how many receivers they put in the NFL. Look how many corners they put in the NFL. They've got 3 defensive linemen that are going in this year. They have shown they can get me to the league. It's not about playing time as much anymore. It is for some guys, but even the ones that you're asking that about, why do they want playing time? Because they're trying to get to a bigger school. You see this John Mateer at Washington State. His offers were Lindenwood, a school I've literally never heard of, and Washington State. His offensive coordinator goes to Oklahoma. What was the first thing he did? Transfer portal. And he basically let it be known. Any Power 5 school, come get me.
Yeah.
He's got 2 years left. Do I think Bill Belichick can go get that guy? Absolutely I do. And I think that's where he would pray in college football, is finding that guy. I've seen what he can do there. You were successful at Washington State. How successful you think you're going to be with me? I got a slew of guys that have coached in the NFL. I do think the only thing that worries me about that potentially is how pro-style is his offense going to be. Because if you look up and down college football, there's not a lot of offenses that succeed that way at this point.
No, you're right.
You have to spread out and be fast and beat guys with speed. That would be my only reservation.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, too, to see if he's really super interested or just getting back into the interviewing process.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, I really don't want that job, but I need the interview. I need that exposure that I am available and that I'm desiring to be back. And when you actually do an interview, then you're actually saying I am, instead of just sitting back and waiting for one.
Right, and now that it's out there that Bill Belichick wants to or is interviewed with the University of North Carolina, there could be many programs out there going, wait a minute, we're better than that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I guarantee you.
I could do better than that. Bill Belichick's available? Hold on.
Yeah,
I promise you, West Virginia.
Your fan base is not too happy about this? Mine will be.
I guarantee you the AD at West Virginia called Pat McAfee and said, hey, how about you come off that Bill Belichick phone number, bro? Because I'm going to need that.
I'm going to need to call him.
He's not listed. I need his phone number. Just give that to me.
Hey, Bill, you want to come coach where Bobby Bowden once coached?
Hey, it's an appealing job.
Maybe.
No, that's true. I mean, like I said, you got to stay, in the limelight. You got to stay, exposed. And it's a great thing for him to do because all of a sudden now everybody's talking about Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And all these radio stations and TV and all that. Whereas, for several months we didn't even think about him, right? So yeah.
Probably the best game of the NFL season was last night. We didn't talk about it for the first 30 minutes.
No doubt.
Because we talked about Bill Belichick.
Well, of course
that's
is. I mean,
that's a really good point.
He's the biggest name in college. He's the biggest name in football. And the fact that he's even interested in talking to Carolina about this job, I think is a good thing. I think I came off way too anti this move when I started the show. It's like I said, it's the best move that could ever happen. And the fact that he's even talking to Carolina, I think, is a big win for North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
But
you're right about that.
I do have my doubts about the execution.
Well, like you said, all the other coaches are like, is Carolina a good job or not a good job? Well, Belichick was interested.
Right.
So all of a sudden, maybe I should look at that a little closer. It can be a really good job, though. I know it's a basketball school, technically. Of course, I was at NC State, so that's what we say. But I think it has a lot of potential to win a national championship at some point.
Yeah. All right. Before we let you go, last thing I wanted to talk to you about. Jeremy and I have been round and round about this. College football playoffs. We kind of agree on this, but I'm curious your thoughts of conference champion automatic bids. Is it a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, sometimes the conference champions, obviously not maybe even the top 10, just kind of the way things work out, especially with this, playoff or these championship games. Because any given day, a good football team can beat a better football team. And that happens. And it'll probably happen, this weekend. But I do think, I think the basis on that is that, if you're playing for a conference championship, it should be worth something. Mm-hmm. And, especially with the higher, ranked conferences, obviously. And I think that they deserve an opportunity to go for a national championship. So I think that's the thought process with that. Because you know what? It is hard to win a conference championship, whatever level. And when you do it, it means that you've done a heck of a job of, being successful, number one, but also defending yourself against other really good teams that want the conference championship too. So I'm all for that. And, I think because there's 12, the great teams are not going to be eliminated because the conference champions, goes in and they don't. Because if they're good enough, they're going to be in the, at large anyway.
Yeah. So anybody who's missing out when there's 12 in, stop. You have a chance.
And I agree with that with all but one. because there is one that I look at and go, you're going to get left out and you don't deserve it, and it's because we're doing this stupid, we've got to have Alabama in because they're a brand. They're also bad. South Carolina's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
They're going to miss the playoff, and that's going to make me feel gross. We saw them live, and Tank and I were talking, walking out of the stadium when this would have been insane talk. We were talking about that might be one of the 12 best teams in the country.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're right.
And if their quarterback hadn't gotten hurt, they would have won.
And they are.
I'm going to tell you one thing. That guy's a superstar. I mean, he's going to be I don't know how long he's going to last in college, but dang, he's a great football player.
He's only a sophomore right now.
Wow.
True sophomore. Yeah. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
What he did against Clemson, that last quarter was unbelievable, really. He just dominated. They couldn't stop him.
Somebody down in South Carolina, Maurice's or Gerald's Tires and Brakes, somebody needs to come off some cash to keep that kid in Columbia.
I think it's going to have to be somebody better than Gerald's Tires and Brakes. I believe that's going to have to be Michigan or Michelin or
Gerald's has 14 locations all around the
one
low
thing
country.
about South Carolina and Clemson, too, they have money. I mean, they'll find a way.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Even back in the day when you really didn't have cell phones, so there's a lot of things that nobody got recorded. Between those two, because I was coaching NC State, and my recruiting area was South Carolina. So I saw all that stuff that used to go on with, staffs back in that time, and they'll find a way to get money. I promise you that.
Absolutely. Darius Rucker has already created an album just for Lenora
I
Sellers.
will write you a
NIL.
song called "I Will Always Love You," and you can have the residuals for it forever.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Thank you to the our head coach, Camp Briggs, for joining us on the show.
Again, I always appreciate y'all, the way y'all, promote football and sports, and just make it fun. And thank y'all, really. Thanks for letting me be a part of it for the time I'm here. I'm excited.
It's the smartest 25 minutes we have all week, and it ain't close.
Check them out on Facebook at Regular Guy KB, the Regular Guy Podcast. The 3rd episode is out. You will not want to miss this one. It's very, very good. Go to the sportsocracy.com, and you can find the Regular Guy Podcast there.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay. PayPal.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe to clean that stuck-on sauce from the stove feels like...
Oh, boy. That tickles. Stop.
It feels like coming home to your needy corgi after a long day.
Best part of the day, finally.
With Clorox. Clean feels carefree. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
This holiday season, let's spread love that goes beyond Christmas. When you give to the Salvation Army of Asheville, you're not just helping provide food, shelter, and gifts during the holidays, you're giving hope that lasts all year. Your generosity supports families in need, offering them a brighter future. Donate to the Salvation Army of Asheville online today and be the reason that someone feels loved and supported. not just this Christmas, but all year long.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You don't want to miss this. Zero Res has extended their Black Friday sale, so mention ESPN Asheville to get $75 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR75 when scheduling online at zeroresasheville.com.
Live from the Ingles studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on a
Football Friday.
Yeah, so we didn't talk much about last night's game.
You know what I learned? You know what I learned last night?
What's that?
Dan Campbell can dribble a bowling ball.
Yeah, he can.
Dan Campbell counted to infinity twice.
You know,
he's the new Chuck Norris. It's what he is.
It's all great when it works. If it hadn't worked, I think we might feel a little differently about this today. But it's part of that mentality, right? It's part of that mentality of my guys versus your guys. There is no way in this world you're going to beat us. And I love it. I wish my coach had a little bit of that in him.
Your coach has zero of that.
I know it. Like, he is the antithesis of Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's fired up and ready to have guys, run through walls, and Todd Bowles is just emotionless and putting guys to sleep in meetings.
Yeah, Todd Bowles can't dribble a basketball. What was your biggest takeaway from the game last night? Because I got a funny feeling we're not going to agree here.
My biggest takeaway is just cementing the fact that this team has no give up. There is no conceding anything. We will not concede a yard. We will not concede an inch. We will not concede a second of this game. If I think I can control it, and I have all the faith in my team that we can, we will take it in the end. It may look gross getting to it, but we will take it in the end.
The Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFC. I'm tired of arguing about it. I'm
That's
tired of being
not
nice
close.
about it. I've heard this argument now for an entire week, and Detroit is just flat out better than Philadelphia. They're better coached.
Mm-hmm.
I trust your quarterback more. Mm-hmm. I didn't say they were more talented.
No.
I said they're better. I think it is a worthy discussion to ask, are we positive that Philadelphia is better than Green Bay? Not cousin Colin Green asked that in the Discord last night, and it got in my head, and I've started thinking about it. You've got 4 teams in the NFC that I think are legitimate contenders. Mm-hmm. Not because I necessarily think Minnesota or Green Bay are better than Philadelphia. They're so talented that that has to count for something. But that Green Bay team is no slouch. Look, they did not play particularly well last night. They got, I'll say, some questionable non-calls. Jordan Love got hit a few times that I went, I swear I'm pretty sure that's a penalty. Like, if we drew this up in a book, I think that's what it would look like.
So they got a little home cooking?
Maybe. Mm-hmm. But I just look at Detroit. Somebody is going to have to beat them, and I think to beat them, they have to in some way beat themselves. Mm-hmm. I at no point last night thought they were losing to the Green Bay Packers. As good, and I was impressed with Green Bay that they were able to stem the tide through adversity. By the way, you remember who I said your DraftKings captain should be last night?
Josh Jacobs.
You're welcome. That was the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Mm-hmm. The hang-up I have with Green Bay is the same hang-up I have with Philadelphia. I think that roster is really, really good. Mm-hmm. I don't know how good your quarterback is. And last night, you barely had the ball. I mean, I don't know the exact number. I can find it. It felt like Green Bay had the ball for about 15 seconds. It was 23 minutes, 54 seconds. Mm-hmm. Detroit had it for 36:06.
Yep.
They just bled you out. And they kept scoring. Mm-hmm. And everybody's going to talk about that Dan Campbell decision at the end. What does that tell you? Everybody's gone to the, well, what if he failed? Do you realize how confident he'd have to be that he wasn't going to fail to go for that?
Absolutely.
He knew definitively, all I have to do is get the snap, get the handoff to the running back, which was way more of an adventure than it should have been. And if I get that ball in David Montgomery's hand, there is no shot they are stopping him short of 24 inches or whatever it was. 2 feet.
Right. End up getting 7 yards out of the deal. You ice the game.
And then I give you no shot.
Yeah.
I give you no shot because I believe in my team to such a point that you're not going to stop me. Mm-hmm. And look, that's an old school. That reminds me of guys that I grew up with. Of if you can't get a yard, you don't deserve to win this game anyway. Mm-hmm. And we talk about analytics, and every single time a 4th down comes up, there's this stupid little gimlet that pops up in the bottom corner that says, ESPN analytics say, go. Shut up. Because that last night it would have said kick field goal. And I think Dan Campbell was right because it wasn't just about that one play. This is a whole mindset that this team has of if you come in here, you're going to know you were in a fight after you were done with us. And it puts, and I saw this a couple times last night, it puts that idea in your head and it leads to you doing some things that don't necessarily make sense.
Okay, like what?
You look at how, I'll say vanilla, Green Bay was last night. He scored 31 points, but the offense was not really impressive. I mean, yeah, they gave it to Josh Jacobs 18 times. He only had 66 yards. That's less than 4 yards a carry. Mm-hmm. With none of their starting defensive linemen still up because Aleem McNeil got hurt last night. It's a mindset. Detroit has a mindset of we are going to play the way that you don't want to play. And if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us at our game. Because we're going to hand this off to these 2 running backs. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen a lot. I don't know the exact number. They had 34 carries last night. I would be curious how many games they've played this year where they had 34 or more carries. Because I'll bet it's 75% of them or more.
I'd agree. Sounds about right. It's physical brand of football.
And you mix that with how good that line is. Mm-hmm. Last night you don't have your left tackle. Didn't really matter. Jared Goff was sacked one time against an aggressive defense.
This is what building a well-rounded team can do. And you have a team that can do anything you need them to. You want to get down in the muck and you want to have a 10-7 knockdown, drag out, leave your teeth in the mud kind of a game? I'm your Huckleberry. I got that. You want to have a 41-42 shootout in double overtime?
42-41.
Whatever.
Bigger number always goes.
I know. I got you there too. I can do that as well. It doesn't matter. And Dan Campbell, after the game, Dan Campbell talked about it. Jared Goff talked about it. Amon St. Brown all talked about it. On record. We talked about this all week long. When we have the ball and we've got a shot, we're going for it. Because we're just better than they are. Our scheme is better. Our players are better. We play as a team better. And Dan Campbell is one of the smartest coaches in the NFL. Because when he said after the game last night, I didn't want to leave it to my defense. He wasn't trying to throw shade at the defense. He knows what the strength of his team is right now. My defense is riddled with injuries. Why the hell would I want to give them the ball back with 46 seconds to go?
That was Matt Penn basically said that very same thing in the YouTube chat. He also followed that up with, the Lions have 13 defensive players on IR. They had to sign Jamal Adams and Quan Alexander to play linebacker last night.
They did.
Missing their entire front seven and still won. Never seen a team do anything like that.
No.
Detroit Fan Man had one, my favorite play. 3 different linemen met Love in the backfield. None of them were on this team last week. Because it's a mindset. Mm-hmm. That's what you want to know why I'm so confident that Detroit's better than Philadelphia? Because that's a culture. Mm-hmm. What is the culture in Philadelphia? That's why I cannot walk into this and go, they're not going to spiral, because I've already seen them do it. Because what happens when adversity comes along? You have a bad week. Mm-hmm. God forbid they lose to the Carolina Panthers this weekend, or any of these games that we look at and go, these should be layups. When you have a coach that's as volatile as Nick Sirianni, it is easy for that to roll downhill. Think about what Coach Briggs just said about when he got fired and everybody knew he wasn't the coach anymore, and the discipline on the team eroded. You've got an overgrown toddler that's running the Philadelphia Eagles. You've got some vets that I really believe in. I believe in A.J. Brown. I believe in Saquon Barkley. I believe in a handful of guys on that defense, even some of the young guys. Those are high-character guys. Quinyon Mitchell's a high-character kid. So is Cooper DeJean. So is Nakobe Dean. So basically anybody that plays on that defense not named Jalen Carter. High-level character kids. But I still look at your leadership. And what happens if something doesn't go according to plan? Dan Campbell went for it last night because he knew. My defense is killed. This is going to be seen as me trusting my offense, not afraid of my defense. And even if we fail, and even if this blows back on me, and the media and everybody that does what we do rails on me tomorrow, you know who's not going to do that? Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. You know who's not going to do that? David Montgomery. You know who's not going to do that? Amon-Ra St. Brown. I could keep doing this. Because those guys believe in me, and I believe in them.
Yep.
And that is really hard to beat. It's really hard to beat.
Amon-Ra St. Brown said after the game, whenever he calls it, we're all in. Because that's the kind of confidence that he has in us. And we have that confidence in him that he's not going to call it at a stupid time.
Ask yourself this question. Austin Groves just said this in our YouTube chat. If Philadelphia was missing 13 players on their defense and had to play the Green Bay Packers last night, they win that game?
No.
I agree with you.
Lose by 10.
I agree with you there, too. And for me, that's the difference. Mm-hmm. It's not a slight at Philadelphia. It's not even me saying that you can't beat them in the playoffs. If you come in healthier or you just catch a good game script, there's no DJ Reader, whatever the case may be, you can come in and basically legislate how this game is played. There is a possibility that you beat the Detroit Lions. That doesn't mean you're better than them. We get very locked in, and I've noticed this a lot as we've been talking about the college football playoff. We get very locked into, well, a team A beat Team B, which means they're better than them. That's a transitive property that does not play out in football. It just doesn't, because there are so many different factors that go into that. That's why it's so hard to bet football. That's why we look at lines every single week, and we're getting ready to do that in the next segment, looking at the games of the weekend. And, well, this doesn't make sense. And then we come back and look at the notebook on Monday, and we lost 5 games, and 4 of them we said, this line doesn't make any sense. Well, it's because football's a hard game to prognosticate because there's a lot of things that go into this. Detroit takes a lot of that out.
Well, it's having an answer for everything.
Well, Detroit has an answer for everything.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
Right.
And what's that old Mike Tyson line? It's real easy to talk about it until you get punched in the face. Everybody has a counterpunch till they get hit in the jaw.
Right.
Detroit has that. And it doesn't really matter what you throw at them. This is a team that's 12-1. Should be 13-0. Because the one time they didn't answer the bell, they got in the red zone 6 times.
Right.
And it's hard for me to think anybody's better than that. I haven't seen a team like this in a long, long time. And it all comes down to Dan Campbell. Yeah, it was surprising to see them line up. I went back and watched this morning on Amazon Prime, The Call. And Kirk Herbstreit at one point said, well, obviously they're going to kick the field goal here. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're thinking about every other team. This is different.
That's the smart thing to do. The smart thing to do, quote unquote, would have been to kick the field goal. We've kind of been trained all of our lives of, well, it's a tie ball game. There's only a few seconds left. I got a chance to kick the field goal. I need to take it. Because if I come away empty, that's my ass, basically. Dan Campbell, he doesn't have anything to lose at this point.
He doesn't have anything to lose because he has built up so many credits within that community. Because this team exemplifies what Detroit is. It's not just that they love their team. It's that they look at their team and go, they play the way we play, the way we live our daily lives. You don't see that very often. Everybody always talks about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got news for you. Watch Pittsburgh right now. They don't play that way. You might want them to. They don't. Detroit does. And I will say this as we go into the coaching hiring season. There are a lot of coaches that I think could do what Dan Campbell's doing. I would be really reticent to trying to find a wish version of him. Because if it's not total buy-in, you're fired in 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Dan Campbell is, to me, I feel like he's a unicorn. Right? He's that perfect coach that we all kind of built up in our minds growing up. Like, that's the guy that I want to play for. Like, he's a good Ron Rivera. How about that?
I can't put those two in the same place.
I mean, he's got the respect of the team. He's got the respect of the community. This one wins games, though. That was my point.
Dan Campbell coaches games the way Jim Tom Sula looks.
And
that dude does not look like he would be fun to mess with.
That's kind of where I was headed with this, was if you try to do the Dan Campbell thing, we're going to end up with a whole lot of those. Right, we're going to end up with a whole lot of idiots, basically. Remember how much crap Dan Campbell took the first day he took the podium in Detroit? Remember the response from, not from us because we loved it, but the response from the media overall, the national media, we're all laughing at this guy. When he came out all geared up, red-faced, looked like he had just chugged like 5 NOS drinks in a row, and he started talking about chewing kneecaps, everybody went, what is this sideshow? You're going to get the embarrassment if you try to replicate this, I have a feeling. Because Dan Campbell may just be the one guy who is the perfect, I don't know, package of all of the things that we would want a coach to be. He believes in us. We believe in him. And we believe that there ain't nobody standing in between us and the promised land. Dan Campbell says this is a team of destiny and that they were built for this. I don't think he's wrong. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We are back at the Sportsocracy inside the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville. It is Football Friday, and before we get into the games coming up this weekend, we do have a super chat or two that we got to get to.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
All right, the Red Sea says Wish version of Dan Campbell is probably Gannon.
Oh, no, Jonathan Gannon doesn't have that kind of attitude.
By the way that it's trending in Arizona.
Good coach, but he doesn't have that kind of attitude. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you. I was racking my brain in the break of who could I even compare him to? And the only one that made even a lick of sense was Rex Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rex was brash. He didn't do it offensively. Dan Campbell does it both ways. That defense will send the hellhounds at you. That offense will punch you right in the mouth. Rex Ryan would do that with the defense.
Mm-hmm.
If Rex thought you had a vulnerability, he would punch down on that for 4 quarters. There actually were Wink Martindale was kind of the same way, again, with just defense. That's where I think it's so rare what you're seeing out of Dan Campbell, because he pushes it to the offense as well. This is really an offensive team with that hard-nosed mindset, they can also throw for 400 yards in a game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever seen a team like that. That's just, it's unheard of.
Yeah, it kind of is.
We have another one from Sir Jimothy.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
He said Dan Campbell is the NFC version of Bill Cowher. Even Bill Cowher never threw like this. He never really had a receiver like Amon-Ra St. Brown that was top 3 in the NFL, and we can light you up through the air if we need to. And, oh, by the way, I'm not remiss to just punch you in the mouth. He did it defensively as well. We've had a lot of guys that have done it defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell is, and somebody said it earlier, and I would love to give him credit, but I can't remember who it was. Dan Campbell's one of one. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
And if you had just told me that there would be a coach that would come in and do all of these things, I would have said there is less than zero chance that actually works. Because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Somebody said Dan Campbell was the guy that spins the wheel on Price is Right when he hit 95 with his first hit.
Right.
I'm going to get that 5.
I'm going to hit it. I'm going to get that bonus. Dan Campbell's awesome. And somebody had said in the chat earlier, what was our reaction when he came out doing the kneecap chewing thing? I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I didn't know. I said the same thing. I'll say the same thing now that I said then. I still don't know if it's going to work. Is it going to get you to the promised land? It should, in a perfect world. And I think it will.
Bill Buttigieg said this feels like the 15-1 Panthers team. Of I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl. I can't tell you that you're not right there, because my fear is that the same thing happens to this Lions team that happened to that 15-1 Panthers team. You came through the NFC where you never really played high-level quarterbacks, and then you came into a Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. That's the part everybody seems to forget here. Because we've argued so much about who's the best team in the NFC, and is it Detroit, is it Philadelphia? We've heard that all week long.
Mm-hmm.
You forget that even the winner of that still has to go to New Orleans and beat either Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. I'm going to put a period right there because I don't want to open up the next ball of wax, which is
right.
We'll keep that over there.
Okay.
C.J. Strouds and Bo Nix and Russell Wilsons of the world. You hang out over there. I don't want to play that game.
Right. Is there anything that they're going to see, though, that they haven't seen already? Like, that was the big problem with the Carolina Panthers, was they never played a pass rush that whole season. Somehow that schedule laid out where they played the worst pass rushes in the NFL constantly. They went 15-1, and then they got into the Super Bowl, and oh wait, Von Miller. Yeah, that didn't go my way, because it wasn't Peyton Manning that beat the snot out of them.
No, it was the defense.
Right. The defense carried Peyton Manning to a Super Bowl in that one, but it was they saw something that they hadn't been prepared for. Is there anything that a team in the NFL could throw at the Detroit Lions that they're not prepared for?
I don't think so.
I don't think there is either.
I mean, and you got to remember, they get Josh Allen next week.
Yes, they do. That's exactly where I was headed with this. If you've got that question and you don't think that they have been through the ringer quite yet, and say, well, they haven't really played an elite quarterback just yet. We haven't seen what they would do when they have to face one of the toughest quarterbacks in the NFL. You're gonna next week. When the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions hook up at Ford Field next week, you're gonna see it. They're going to have a chance to prove it to you. I don't think there's another challenge in this league that if they get over that hump, it's all over but the crying now. All Dan's got to do is just keep this train on the tracks.
Well, and then it comes into the same thing we say with Baltimore. All right, you've never plateaued that mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something to be said for that. You got to remember, they were up a lot on San Francisco last year. Some very questionable decisions by Dan Campbell in the second half is what led to San Francisco being in the Super Bowl last year, not Detroit.
And a lot of it had to do with this, guess what I got in this wheelbarrow? The stones kind of got them into trouble last year. That's the fine line that you walk. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll start the previews coming up after the next break here in the Sportsocracy. Don't forget, today is a perfect day to give back to the community. And who doesn't love children, right? You want to give and make sure that all of the needy children in Western North Carolina have the ability to have something to open underneath the Christmas tree on the holiday. So you can go by the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway and take a toy or take cash donation to the Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Eblin Charities. St. Nicholas Project was a successful day yesterday. Today has gotten off to a rocking start, so I hear. And they'll be out there until 7 o'clock today. Jeremy will be out there from 4 until 6 this evening. And also you'll have time to go by tomorrow morning as well until noon to give to this year's toy drive. The Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Eblin Charities, St. Nicholas Project. It is going on right now at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway.
This is your Extraterrestrial Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold Friday afternoon, but the trend will be our friend after a cold day today and night tonight. Milder days are ahead. Temperatures going above normal. Sunshine this afternoon. That light breeze will start to taper off a bit. 35. Tonight, clear 15. Some spots will be colder. Saturday, sunshine near 50. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 50s with a chance of showers Sunday night and Monday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Disasters at home from floods, fires, or storm is a homeowner's worst nightmare. It pays to have a professional on your side, and that's exactly what you get with First Restoration Services. They've built their business off trust, integrity, speed, and quality. Learn more online at FRS247.com.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and getting back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe to clean that stuck-on sauce from the stove feels like...
Oh, boy. That tickles. Stop.
It feels like coming home to your needy corgi after a long day.
Best part of the day, finally.
With Clorox, clean feels carefree. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
on the weird scale. There's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. And Jeremy, you know how I love the subject of extraterrestrial stuff. I've always been enthralled with space things. And the idea that there is other stuff
things
out there. Stop it.
It's fake things.
Stop it.
It's fun.
You don't know. And we're going to
I got a pretty good idea.
And you know what we're going to know? We're going to know because of the new president, apparently. There's a man named Danny Sheehan, and Danny Sheehan has been he's kind of an expert in the field of, as Jeremy calls it, all fake things. So
he's an expert in crap. Awesome. I've dedicated my life to things that may or may not exist.
He is. He's an expert, and he has been heavily involved with bringing UFO whistleblowers to the United States Congress in recent years to share what they have seen.
I'm gonna start calling myself a Sasquatch expert.
Danny Sheehan is a lawyer, and he says that the day that Donald Trump takes office, he is going to release everything that we know about UFOs. That Donald Trump will declassify all of the information that the United States has about UFOs, and we will know once and for all what they know.
Which is not squat. How many times do we have to do this of declassified documents and they tell you, bupkis? I just really would like to, where do you go to college to become an expert in the field of things that have never been confirmed to even kind of possibly be true?
You just stay up late at night listening to Coast on WWNC.
I listen to Alex Jones every day, and he tells me that the government's out here to hurt us, and there's things that would scare you when you do them.
That's right. Danny Sheehan, he may not be in the know. He may not be in Donald Trump's inner circle, so he may not, have the actual information to make this kind of a claim, but that wouldn't stop him because he's already made several claims before, like that there could be anywhere from 6 to 7 other highly intelligent alien species in our galaxy. What evidence that is based on? You got that cricket soundbite over there?
I have it, but I can't play it.
It's a cool thought. Like I like the thought of that there's aliens out there, that there could be some kind of a reveal coming at some point. But that's just the Hollywood movie kid in me. Like, I want the Hollywood script. I really don't think this has ever happened.
What they didn't tell you is that this interview was interrupted multiple times by his mother telling him it was time to stop roughhousing with his friends. My story is proof positive of why our generation and the generation older than us, well, they're just tougher than you youngsters. Tank, you often tell stories about things that go up for sale at auctions.
Yes.
Do you know who Alfred Carlton Gilbert is?
I do not.
He came up with the Erector set.
Okay.
The toy that the older generation played with. He also came up with multiple other toys, one of which, less than 5,000 of them were made, and it's now going up. One of them is going up for auction.
Okay.
It's called the Gilbert U238. Not 38. The U-238 Atomic Energy Laboratory.
Yes.
It's from the 50s, and it comes with actual honest-to-God uranium.
Yes.
So, listen, people that need to put their pronouns in their email signature, you want to know why we know we're tougher than you? Because we played with uranium as children, and we didn't die.
This was the Q38 modulator that
100%.
that Marvin the Martian was talking about all those years.
It has honest-to-God uranium in it. It also has carnotite, autunite, tobernite, and uraninite.
All the finest ites.
Well, it didn't have the finest night, which is night, which is the CB dubs. And The auction ends December the 11th.
Okay.
I do not have. Apparently, this is on some government website that you cannot access from anything within this building because every time I click on this link, it goes no.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's top secret
It's
stuff?
it's
because you're trying to sell uranium.
You know what's doing it? It's your aliens think they don't want me to get my hands on uranium because I've been sent from the future to stop John Connor.
No, this is the government shutting this down because you can't just buy and sell uranium. That's not a thing.
Gambit
you have
fan,
to have a license for that.
Gambit fan said, do you know why they call Coke Coke? Because it used to have cocaine in it. We grew up drinking that, bruh. You want to fight?
Well, I mean, we did.
Your safe space is going to have to be a lot bigger after we're done with you.
They weren't doing that in our generation.
We will beat the stupid right out of you. And I mean, look, I'm 37 years old, but I was actually born like 80 years ago because I come from that generation because I was raised by them.
I mean, there was a lot of Coke in the 80s, but we weren't drinking Coke in the 80s. That was more of a 20s thing.
I am not at liberty to divulge anything other than to ask you, what are you, a cop? Listen, what I do on a stray Saturday night is a whole bunch of none of your business.
Fine.
But if you ever see me looking like John C. Reilly when he has that character where he's got the glasses and his hair's all crazy, you might want to tread lightly. I might have been a wooer, and I might be a little more volatile than normal.
All right, it is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. It is week 14 in the NFL. It all kicked off last night with the Green Bay Packers getting the 3-point win over the Detroit Lions getting the 3-point win over the Green Bay Packers.
It makes me so happy that I feel like somewhere in this city there's somebody, I don't know who you are, but I have a weird feeling your name's like Strawberry or Dish Rag or something. And you heard everything I just said, and you went, I am angry. I'm going to go to my blog and tweet about it.
So yesterday we made the picks. We pushed, right? Because Jared, it was 3. The spread is 3, so we pushed. But if you listen to us on the over, we had.
If you listen to me on Josh Jacobs, you had a wooer.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns last night. If he was your captain on DraftKings, you did well.
Oh, captain, my captain.
This week in the NFL, 1 o'clock slate. Let's start off with an easy one.
Most of them are easy. That's why this usually takes 2 hours, and today it's going to take 32 minutes.
The Philadelphia Eagles play the Carolina Panthers. You can hear it on our sister station, News Radio 570, WWNC. 1 o'clock kickoff, 12 o'clock pregame. The Eagles are a 13.5-point favorite. Are you going to do it?
I'm taking Carolina plus 13.5.
Okay.
This feels like, and look, I have been burned by this before, but there is such a thing as a trap game. Look, I'm not telling you Carolina's winning this game. Let me get that out before I go any further. But there is such a thing as a trap game. And if I have ever seen one in my life, having the Carolina Panthers nestled right in between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers is like the definition of it. I think Philadelphia wins by about 10. The number's just too high.
Okay.
I don't think Carolina is that level of bad. 13 in the NFL should be reserved for the Jaguars or the Giants, and I don't think the Panthers are that.
Okay. I mean,
I'll also
go ahead.
How are they going to beat Carolina?
They'll run the ball.
Exactly. What does that lead to? Clock runs. The clock in this game may never stop. And this could be a backdoor cover. Wouldn't shock me in the least. You tell me this is 27-7 with 8 minutes to go and Bryce Young leads the drive, and then they just salt away the clock with Kenny Gainwell, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah.
But the number's disrespectful, and I'm going.
Good for you. All right, I'm gonna go on the other side of you. I'm gonna take the Philadelphia Eagles side. It is a lot of points, and no, it would not surprise me to see Carolina cover this. But for the sake of arguments, I'm gonna say Philadelphia's going to run. They're going to run a whole bunch. And the way that Philadelphia defense is playing, I don't like Carolina to put up a whole bunch of points in this game. So 2 scores, it's a little pricey, but I'll take it. Now, over 46. Or are you going under?
Under.
Under.
I don't like the over in this at all. I think this game's going to be gross. I don't want to. The only player in this game that I want any exposure to is Saquon Barkley. That's it.
Yep.
And I don't mind Jatavian Sanders if he plays.
Is that a weak spot for Philadelphia?
It's not.
I hadn't really seen that on my radar that you need to play tight ends against Philly.
It's not necessarily they give up a lot to tight ends. I'm looking at game script of how that defense is going to function. I think they're going to blitz Bryce Young a lot, and that leads to a lot of dump-offs. And even if it's Tommy Tremble, I played him last week in DraftKings, and it went fine because he was $8.
Yeah, and he had like 6 catches or something.
And I can see the same thing happening this week. That find the dump-off. Away!
Yep. Okay. All right, we are diametrically opposed on that one. He's going Carolina in the under. I'm going Philadelphia and the over. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a 6.5-point spread. It's my team, so I'm going to let you pick that first.
I feel like you think this is easy. This is not an easy spread to me. Because why is it so low? You're in Tampa Bay. This is that Bugs Bunny on the windowsill thing. Like, do it. Take Tampa Bay minus the 6.5. And I'm gonna. I'm gonna. And Vegas is probably just gonna smack me right in the mouth. But this line doesn't make any sense. The Raiders are bad. B-A-D-D bad. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
But with Aiden O'Connell, I have seen you have a much better ability to throw the ball. Tampa Bay's defense is awful. I thought about this probably not as long as any game of the weekend, but it's close.
Yeah. I was still thinking about it because of course you know me, you know how I feel about my fortunes and my luck and what is going to be what is going to come when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose to the Las Vegas Raiders, the team that I crap on more than any other team in the NFL.
Oh, you want me to answer that? Jeremy's going to laugh. A lot.
I mean, I'm going with Tampa to cover the 6.5. I don't feel great about it. I can see Brock Bowers having a great game. I could see Jacoby Myers running free in the middle of that Tampa Bay Todd Bowles cover 2 defense. Over under 46.
Over.
Yeah. We're both on the over. We're both on Tampa minus the 6.5.
I actually low-key think that could be a fantasy relevant game this week.
I could see that. How about the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins? Another 1:00 game. The Miami Dolphins are a 5.5-point favorite. And I'll take Miami.
I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Jets. Miami's not 5.5 points better than the Jets. I may lose this game because the Jets are terrible. I also wouldn't be shocked against a team that has absolutely no pass rush whatsoever if this is the game where you see Aaron Rodgers and you go, could he come back in 2025? I can see it now. He throws for 285 and 3 touchdowns. He found the fountain of youth. Aaron's ready. He's primed for a 2025. Because this team makes me sad.
All right, he's going Jets plus the 5.5. I'll take Miami to cover the 5.5. And over under 45. Under 45. I'm agreed on that part as well. Let's go New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants.
Okay, this is the first of, in the last game really kind of fell into this, but we did it without me disclosing this. These are dog water games that you should not watch more than 5 seconds of, so we should not spend more than 30 seconds on any of these games.
Okay.
I will take the New Orleans Saints minus the 5, and I will go under the 41.
Agreed on both counts. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans? The Tennessee Titans are a 3-point favorite. That feels low to me.
It does to me, too. I'm taking Tennessee, and I'm going to go under the 40. I think this is a big old gross fest because this is a crush spot for Will Levis. I've had a lot of people ask me, should they be playing him in fantasy football this week? I like Jameis Winston better. I like a lot of borderline replacement level quarterbacks. better this week because this has the Will Levis is in a crush spot, and Will Levis comes out and throws 2 interceptions, but has 240 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He is playable. I just don't really like to playable him.
Calvin Ridley against his former team. Does that do anything for you?
I don't mind that one. It's funny you said that because I almost said, and Calvin Ridley has half his yards.
Right. Because as I look at that game going, I could probably convince myself on Will Levis if I had to, just based on the Calvin Ridley's gonna hit one at some point. At some point, these touchdowns, these 70-yard touchdowns, are going to stop going to Nick Westbrook-Akine. And Calvin Ridley's going to get his. And why shouldn't it be against one of the worst teams in the league? Oh, by the way, it was the team that he was on last year. Just kind of sets up perfect for me. Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons.
This game deserves much more attention. And I have a spicy take on this, so I'm going to let you pick it first.
All right. Minnesota is a 6-point favorite at home against the Atlanta Falcons. There's the revenge game narrative with Kirk Cousins. There's also the narrative of maybe Kirk needs to be sat down.
Well, he ain't getting sat down this week.
I want to look at this and go, this is the game where Kirk Cousins shows up and Atlanta shows a little muscle.
But you're not going to.
I'm not going to.
That's okay. I will.
You will?
Because I'm taking Atlanta plus 5.5.
Okay.
I don't just think Atlanta covers. I think Atlanta wins.
Really?
Because it makes no sense. You look at these two teams right now, Minnesota is slightly overvalued. Atlanta is grossly undervalued because they have been bad. This is a game Atlanta needs more than Minnesota. This is a game Kirk Cousins needs to prove a point. And I think it will be close. And I have a weird feeling that Young Wei Koo is going to win this game at the Horn.
Really? You should probably put some money down on that. I bet you could get some pretty good odds for that.
I don't think you quite understand how betting works, but I would have to get odds on that from a weird guy in an alley. It's probably that guy you were talking about earlier that's an expert in all things extraterrestrial. I'll give you plus 15 million that Young Wei Koo ends this game with a walk-off field goal. And I'll pay you in my fingernails.
That's not a prop you can get. You can't get that prop.
Not
last
that
scorer.
specific.
They do first scorer. Do they do last scorer?
Some do.
Okay. Well, just a thought. Okay, so you think this is going to be it? I really can't trust that if it came down to that, it's going to be Young Wei Koo that's going to win the game. If it came down to that, I would go, okay, I'll take Atlanta plus the 6. But they're still not winning this game. That I feel like him and Tucker, and there have been a couple of those kickers that have just kind of been snake bit this year that I wouldn't trust in that scenario.
Yeah, and then invariably there's a reason that all these teams go, nope, we support our kicker because they know what's out there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like having a fight with your wife. You've been together for a long time. And you're like, I've been on the dating market. I don't want to do this again.
I'm not saying
we'll be fine.
I'm not saying they should get rid of him or anything. I'm just saying I don't know that I would trust him if it came down to him. Minnesota should be the better team here. They're at home. You got it. They need this game too. You got to keep pace with Detroit at every turn. You can't afford to lay down to the Atlanta Falcons. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. So Minnesota -6 for me. You're going Atlanta plus the 6. How about 45.5? I'm on the over.
I'm on the under.
Okay. Jeremy going under.
Seems like Minnesota, anytime I think they're going to be in a track meet game, it winds up being a dog fight. And anytime I think it's going to be a dog fight, they score 35 points.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do we have any other 1 o'clock games that we haven't talked? Oh, we got one more. We got Cleveland and Pittsburgh. You think we should hold? I think we should hold that one over.
No, we got time.
Oh, we got time? All right. Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh's at home. 6.5 point favorite are the Steelers.
Pittsburgh. Didn't think about it for 5 seconds.
No shot that this is one of those surprising close games.
Nope. Bad Jameis. You remember the last time I said this? Do you remember the Jameis Winston we got? Yeah, I have that same. My Jameis meter is going 3 interceptions, maybe in the first half.
All right.
The thing that is always scary about Jameis Winston is when he starts to feel himself. And throwing for 497 yards, no, he's not Deshaun Watson. I saw that look on your face. Okay.
No, I understood what you were saying.
The scary part is when that confidence starts to soar, because Jameis Winston's problem is that he has always been able to make any throw on a football field. Mm-hmm. So he kind of disregards what he's actually seeing and goes, I can make it happen. And Pittsburgh is the kind of team that schematically you really have to be able to trust what you're seeing, and you really have to be able to disseminate what you're seeing. Unfortunately, that has never really been his strong suit. And after you embarrassed them in the snow, this feels like a game where Pittsburgh comes out and goes, I'll show you.
Let's try that again.
Let's all sit down and play where we're supposed to play.
Right. You've heard that old term about, 9 times out of 10 that always leaves that one, right? We already saw the one. We saw the one earlier. This is going to be one of those 9. It's not. I don't think it's going to go well.
By the way, can I go back and unpick the Jets, because Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner, and C.J. Mosley are all out. That came out about the time Jets came out of my mouth. So that's not good.
That's not
good at all.
Are we flipping that one?
I am flipping that.
We're flipping that one. All right, so we're both on Miami minus the 5.5.
Oh, so you mean now we have no running back or number 1 corner? Sweet.
I don't like that at all. Pittsburgh minus the 6.5. I think it's going to be a drubbing as well there in Pittsburgh. Over under the 43.5.
Surprisingly enough, I'm going over.
Oh, good. All right. I'm on the over as well. Philadelphia. Sorry. Pittsburgh.
Wrong Pennsylvania team.
Yes. Pittsburgh starting to show that they can score some points. Russ looked pretty good last week, we'll admit.
Are you saying he looked dangerous? That's how lame that is. Stop doing that.
He was cooking. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
When you're ready to go back in the day, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it. Allow me to introduce myself.
Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
At Harbor Freight, our low prices make us the place for gifts that keep on giving. Because when you give the gift of quality tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for next year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is December 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit hummingbirdins.com. That's hummingbirdins.com.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Is Cialis Daily really better than Viagra?
If you like spontaneity, the answer is yes. So when the mood strikes, you're ready to go.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is definitely much happier.
When you take it, you're ready to go.
Does Cialis Daily last longer than Viagra?
Guys are raving that their results last even longer.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star.
Because it is effective, I say I'm on a second honeymoon.
It's literally life-changing.
Are 30-day sample packs available?
You can now access a 30-day sample pack at TryRexMD.com with generics if appropriate. Online approval at TryRexMD.com is simple, with medication delivered direct to your door. There's no copay, no doctor office visit, and your shipping is always free. Visit TryRexMD.com to get your sample pack. That's TryRexMD.com.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're gonna be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold Friday afternoon, but the trend will be our friend after a cold day today and night tonight. Milder days are ahead. Temperatures going above normal. Sunshine this afternoon. That light breeze will start to taper off a bit. 35. Tonight, clear 15. Some spots will be colder. Saturday, sunshine near 50. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 50s with a chance of showers Sunday night and Monday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat for
Football Friday.
Yes, and third hour of the Football Friday program, always the same. It's time for the Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. It's always where you're going to go. If you could go anywhere, and this weekend, you've got conference championship games in college football. You have the NFL. Unfortunately, we can't choose the game of the week because that was probably last night's game.
Correct.
It's going to be hard for anything else this weekend to live up to that. But, as we all know, football always delivers. So, where are you going to go? Could you go in? Should you go anywhere?
Well, who has the number one pick?
Well, I'll take first pick if you don't mind.
Nah, I think I'm gonna take it. Give me Texas, Georgia.
No, that was the winner. That was the one. Whoever got that game was gonna win.
Yeah,
dang it.
Jeremy took his thumb and went.
He did
on the scale.
He did. Texas versus Georgia.
I'm choosing violence today.
That's fine.
People seem to be all week long for whatever reason. Every time I get in my car, people want to cut me off. Mm-hmm. I've had people just riding my tail. It seems like it's almost like the universe is trying to just poke me, and I want to do it back. And it's easy to do with you because you don't fight back.
That is
Texas, Georgia is the game of the weekend. It has virtually no meaning.
I mean, it has meaning for.
Does it though?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so what's the meaning?
Well, I mean, the winner gets to be SEC champion. So
Woo!
You get another trophy, which matters.
Woo!
You're going to get the bye in the college football playoff. So, I mean, you won't get a home date.
Who's the team? Who's the team that you could potentially play? The best thing that happens for Tennessee is Georgia loses and gets smoked.
Mm-hmm.
If Texas loses, then all of a sudden, basically everything stays where it is because Texas isn't falling behind these other teams.
No.
With 2 losses to Georgia, it's just not enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a team that's going to beat either one of them. I mean, all right, so Georgia has to go to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. And
I would still favor Georgia.
That would be another part of it.
I can't say I would favor Georgia. I would just say you have a. Okay, maybe now that I'm sounding that out, maybe this does mean more than
right. I mean, if Georgia loses and they fall behind and they don't get a home game in the playoff, I mean that same team is going to play tough anywhere. But of course, I'd rather have one between the hedges. If
Georgia loses, Ohio State and Tennessee get home games. If Georgia wins, I would say Georgia and Texas just flip spots.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia would be the 2, Texas would become the 6.
I would agree. That was the game of the week. That was the right choice.
So me, selfishly, I am rooting very hard for the Bevo-less Texas Longhorns.
Do you have a problem with that? They won't let them bring Bevo?
No, because I've been on that field, and I know why they won't let him bring him.
Of course.
That is a
there ain't no place
super tight sideline.
Yeah, there ain't no place for that down there.
That stadium is built differently because when they built that stadium, they built it almost specifically for football. A lot of stadiums are like mixed use, and Atlanta does do mixed use because the Final Four will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Even with that, they just build the seats out, so there's not as many that are premium, but they really wanted to make sure everybody could see, which is genius.
Yeah.
So the sidelines are so tight. I don't really have a problem with it. I am annoyed that they constantly bring up that Bevo charged at Uga. No, he didn't. He's a cow. I'm not even sure he saw Uga.
I mean, didn't he, though?
The trainer said you brought him in here 6 hours. He'd been staring at a wall. What do you think he was going to do? Eventually, he was going to go, I want to run.
Look, he did. Bevo lunged at him. But to be fair, Uga started it, okay? Uga started it. My wife, obviously, she loves the dog. She's very upset, or was very upset, when Bevo dared to buck up to Uga. She brought that to my attention. When that news broke, that was the first thing my wife said to me when I got home was, "Did you think they're not going to let Bevo come because he charged it to Uga?" Like, that's not why they're doing it. Honey.
If there had been some room on the sideline, he'd been there.
Oh, no doubt about it.
I will say that scene is really a good. That's a microcosm of this show. We have the big hulking Bevo that you don't want to make Bevo angry because Bevo will bite you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the little itty bitty dog that just yep.
Which the goal is
to make Bevo angry.
To make Bevo angry, exactly. It's kind of the perfect analogy for this show. All right, my first selection obviously is going to be the Big Ten championship game, Oregon and Penn State.
I did not have that too. Just to be clear, because I think Oregon is going to beat the Jesus.
All right, I mean, if that's your thing, then sure, I can see how you could knock that down. You couldn't have knocked it down too far on your list.
It was 4.
4, really? Okay. For obvious reasons, Oregon's the number 1 team in the country. Penn State's the number 3 team in the country. No, it's not going to kick anybody out of the playoff. But there's still a lot on the line here. And
that's where my problem comes in, is that not only do I think this is going to be a bad game,
mm-hmm.
I also think it will be a bad game that doesn't really hurt anybody, because I'm not sure that Penn State doesn't. There's a possibility Penn State would still have a home game.
I mean, if it was close. I
think even if they get housed.
Really?
You lost to Oregon, you lost to Ohio State. That's it. You beat everybody else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what am I going to do? Put a 3-loss team in front of you?
But then it goes to the.
I don't buy that.
It's a good point. I mean, what are the wins?
Right? When I did the math,
weigh out the wins again.
When I did the math, if Penn State and Georgia lose, Penn State's still the 8. Tennessee becomes the 7, Ohio State's the 6, Notre Dame's the 5.
Mm-hmm.
That was how it broke down.
In your head.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oregon, Penn State in the Big Ten championship game. That's the first one. And then I'm going Chiefs and the Chargers.
That was my 2.
Yeah. Chargers at the Chiefs could be phenomenal because, I mean, I don't think Kansas City knows how to play a game that's not enthralling to the very last second anymore.
Well, you also get one great big advantage for the Chargers, that it's December in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, for a night game, you're in the middle of this weird little hot spell where the high is, or the low at kickoff is like 54.
Yep.
We haven't talked about this game yet, but I have a very dedicated lean in this game.
Mm-hmm. As do I, and I think I want to be there when the Chiefs get got. Your next selection, apparently I left you your 4, or one of your top 4.
You did. I'm going Seahawks Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that's not for the division. Seahawks win, they're probably winning that division because you'll now have a 2 full-game lead on the Cardinals. The 49ers are irrelevant. I don't see a way the Rams are winning this weekend. And then you've basically got a 2-game lead on them, too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can salt this division away. Or Arizona can smoke you at home, and now we have a fight to the finish with 3 teams that are very close, and I believe there's still 2 games between the 3 of them for the rest of the schedule.
Yep. Okay.
That one is rather spicy to me.
It is. It was high on my list as well.
I'm going Falcons Vikings because I don't think I have to take the other one I want.
That's the one I wanted
the
next.
Kirkland Cousins Bowl.
That's the one I wanted next. Because I think it's got all the potential of being a good game. Now, I've always low-key been a fan of Kirk Cousins. So, I mean, like, there's part of me that really wants to see him go in here and compete well. Let's have the, 34-31, kind of like we had last night, comes down to the end kind of a thing. And who knows? I mean, maybe Jeremy could win some money.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money. Money.
So, okay, Jeremy. So they won't let you do a prop bet on Young Hui Koo kicking the game-winning field goal.
No, you
apparently.
can pick which team scores last.
Yes. Matthew Hoffman has done some legwork here for you. He says DraftKings will let you pick the last team to score. It doesn't let you pick a field goal to end it, but you can play. You can parlay Atlanta as the last team to score and Atlanta to come from behind and win, and that's plus 415. So there's some odds for you, Jeremy, to lay down on that one, since you said earlier that you had such a great feeling that this was going to be possibly an Atlanta Falcons walk-off win.
That's where I think this goes.
Danny Fenn's fan also says you can go and get the Falcons to win by 1 to 6 points and get Bijan Robinson as an anytime touchdown scorer, and that's plus 700 when you parlay those two things together. So that's a good chunk of change as well.
You can win a lot of money on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You can also spend a little bit of that money and get your comments highlighted here, like we have 2 more Super Chats that did just that very thing.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
And I apologize to these 2 that I completely forgot we had a YouTube chat because for the last 2 days we haven't, and it slipped my mind. Start with Great North Sports, who said Dan Campbell is a guy who can lose a game as spectacularly as he wins them.
Mm-hmm.
That is my fear of the playoffs, is you started doing some of those spicy things last year, and you got by the 49ers.
Yes.
I do believe he has to – that's one of the negatives of the brash and the bravado and the way he coaches this team, is that you can't really get off-brand. You have to keep doing those things because it's what you've instilled in your team, is that we're going to go out and punch somebody in the mouth. Well, when it doesn't work, you do look like a buffoon, and if you do that 2 or 3 times in the same game, it could easily lose you a game that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
See Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I was going to say, especially when you have a 21-point lead in the second half, they made it a point not to stop playing their game.
You should.
And somehow you still got caught.
Yeah, you should stop playing your game. You should run the damn ball. Speaking of those Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one more super chat.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
And this is a good question and is a great betting line.
Yep.
It's from Red Sea. If Tampa Bay loses to the Las Vegas Raiders, what is the over-under on number of minutes Jeremy lasts for straight on Monday? I'm going over the 15 and a half. Let's see. There are 180 minutes in our show. Usually you and I are here for 120 minutes before. Takes you about 35 minutes to get out of the building. I can follow you all the way through the parking lot for about 2.5. I will set the over at just over 338.
This is going to be a constant laugh fest. Just
it won't stop. I mean, it'll be relentless. If that were to happen and you see my number pop up on your phone, don't answer it.
I'm not gonna.
Oh, it's okay. Your wife owes me one because she randomly called me the other day thinking I was her brother. We both have the same name and the same initial. Yeah, I'll call her. Be like, hey, put your husband on the phone. Don't tell him it's me.
You should just tell him it's your brother.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you would know that's coming. I'd have to
think of something different.
To get more creative.
Yeah. Stop putting that out there, please. Can we please stop talking about that?
I did it one time and it worked.
Possibility. Nope. You're in the Sportsocracy.
I don't ask for much.
This is ESPN
I am
Asheville,
a simple man.
92.9 FM. No.
Simple means. And I would really, really enjoy a stocking stuffer of a Raiders victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 The Sportsocracy. We'll be right back. The Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale, continues after this.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
More than 4,500 wildfires burn across North Carolina every year. 99% of these wildfires are the result of human activities like backyard burning and campfires. That means most of our state's wildfires are avoidable. We need your help. 1. Never burn on a dry, windy day or leave your fire unattended. 2. Keep a water source, shovel, rake, and phone nearby. 3. Have a valid burn permit. You are our best defense. Learn more. Visit ncforestservice.gov. ncforestservice.gov.
At Harbor Freight, our low prices make us the place for gifts that keep on giving. Because when you give the gift of quality tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're going to be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
The Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale, continues here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is every Friday. Where are you going to go if you could go anywhere this weekend? The number one selection, snaked by Jeremy. Texas and Georgia in the SEC championship game. That was the number one overall pick. Jeremy followed that up with Seattle, Arizona, and Atlanta, Minnesota, taking two of the three best games in the NFL. My first two selections in this have been Oregon and Penn State in the Big Ten championship game, and the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Los Angeles Chargers.
You told me how cheap it was to get into the what is that, the MAC championship?
The MAC championship game. Tickets as low as $3 right now to see Ohio Bobcats take on the Miami of Ohio Redhawks.
So literally all in at Lucas Oil Field right now. You can get into the Big Ten championship game, fees and everything.
Yeah,
$37.
Let's go, man. That's wild. I thought that'd be a more sought after ticket.
You can have good seats, all in for $100.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Of which, if I was not already otherwise occupied,
I wonder if they're going to bring the duck with them. That's going to be fun.
The mascot,
the big one. Do you remember when they came for Big Ten Media Days and Oregon brought the giant inflatable duck and put it in the river in Indianapolis?
I thought you meant the mascot.
No,
duck.
of course.
He's going to be there and he's going to do a lot of push-ups.
It's going to be a lot of dancing.
Hope you got that cardio in, bruh, because you're going to be doing push-ups all night long.
Next game on the list. Ew. Kind of dropped off after that.
A little bit. That's, by the way, why I really wanted to have the first pick, because there were 5 selections and then Grumper Juice.
Let's see what we got left. You know.
Oh, come on, pick one of those conference championship games you've been hyping up all week.
I'm not gonna.
Let's go.
I got to take one of them because there ain't enough NFL games to go around.
I can't wait to hear a NFL game that you have to go around.
Well, I keep thinking that there's going to be some fireworks out of this Bills-Rams game.
I knew that's the one you were taking.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one I'm taking.
For posterity's sake, you could have taken that with your last pick. I would not have touched it.
Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't. When I said that earlier this week, the look on your face was like, are you crazy? Josh Allen's going to win that by 30 by himself. I could smell it.
I would rather stand outside that stadium in Mike Tyson's chaps holding a sign that said free hugs than watch a second of it.
It's going to be that bad?
Oh, the Bills are going to beat the high holy Hebrew jeebers.
LA just won't be able to defend them at all.
I just don't know how you're going to stop them.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk more about that game in just a few moments. Buffalo and the Los Angeles Rams.
And
then I will take one of those other conference championship games.
Which one?
Well, I'm going to take Arizona State and Iowa State.
God, I'm glad you did, because I did not want to have to pick it, and I was going to.
I'll take Arizona State, Iowa State.
Well, you made this pretty easy for me.
Yep.
I'll take UNLV, Boise State, and I'll take SMU Clemson in no particular order.
There you go.
And by the way, if you ever need a really good argument for why we don't need to do those conference championship games, just in general playing them, you had 2 of the Power 4 conferences that was behind the Bills and the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them,
if I had
one that did go in front of me, I was so glad you took it that I almost said an obscenity.
Well, if it had any rooting interest, one would outweigh the other, but at this point, there's none. None of these are brands. There's no great storyline here. I mean, I can't get behind the Clemson storyline.
No, I want Clemson as far away from this playoff as possible.
Is there a team that I feel like if they win this, it's going to be a farce that they're included in it?
You could tell me that Clemson was playing a team that consisted of every girl I've ever dated in my life that was not my wife, and I would be wearing their jersey going into this. That's how badly I don't want to see Clemson in this. I just want good games. That's it. I genuinely do not care who wins this thing. What I don't want is the 34-3 game that is coming out of Clemson, and I know it's coming. I watched you struggle too much with too many ACC teams. I also know you don't have elite speed on the outside. SMU, I don't know. That team is so unknown because they haven't really played anybody. They could be good. They could not be good. I don't know. I know exactly what Clemson is because I've seen it.
Yep. Okay.
And then Boise State, UNLV, this weekend is so bad in most places that just seeing Ashton Genty will be enough to get me to that one. And I do think there's a possibility UNLV wins that game.
Yeah.
Which would be fun for me.
And Jeremy, have you checked out the latest show on Max? The AFC North in-season program.
I haven't yet. I'll watch it. That'll be Amy fell asleep. Let me binge a couple of episodes of it.
Well, I think there's only one out right now.
Yeah, it'll take me 3 weeks to get to that point.
Yeah.
So.
There's only one out right now. I watched it the other day. And AFC North football has always been intriguing to me. It's always been like I don't care who plays in these games. They're always fun-ish to watch. You know that you're going to get to see somebody get snot bubbled. That's going to happen in every one of these games. So just because of that, my final selection in the daily draft is going to be the Steelers and the Browns. Because there is a chance that game is going to be more interesting than you want it to be. But also, if it's not, it's probably going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers running over them like, I don't know, a leaf on a train track. And those are sometimes fun to watch as well. Any others that you did you have a sixth pick?
Yeah, I have a sixth pick.
You do have a sixth pick? Oh, God. That means I got to come up with another one.
And there's literally almost less than zero chance that you're going to take it.
Gross. Tulane Army. That's about the closest thing I got.
How in the world did I get screwed out of the pick that I wanted?
It's the only other game that it looks even mildly interesting.
A conference championship game at West Point. That is, to me, that is something that I did not think we would ever see.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we could do this all afternoon long, and we would never get to that point.
You pushed it too far. You went, yeah, let's do another pick. Well, that was the only one left on the board because I couldn't say with a clear conscience any of the other NFL games. The Bears and the 49ers, gross.
That's my last pick.
Is that your last pick?
And that is, I am intrigued to see what that Bears offense looks like, what that Bears team looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the report about Thomas Brown?
What about
He's
it?
lost 22 pounds since they named him the interim coach.
Really?
That was on Monday?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's almost like the before and after that they showed of Barack Obama. Like, for 8 years as president, we'll do this to you. 4 days as head coach of the Chicago Bears, and Thomas Brown has lost weight as though he contracted dysentery on the Oregon Trail.
What's up with that?
I have no idea.
That's
and he
like
was
the craziest
happy about
thing.
it. Like, I couldn't lose any weight, and I became coach, and the weight just started flooding off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's called angina, anxiety, and stress trying to get your resume together for whoever's going to hire you next.
So he's a different kind of cat, because usually that kind of uncertainty and undue stress for us makes us balloon. How do you lose weight with all that stress added?
Well, I stress eat, and I happy eat, and I depressed eat, and I drunk eat. I eat. That's what I do. I got to the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive yesterday, and everybody looked at me sideways because I was wearing shorts, and I went, look, first of all, I've spent a lot of time in places that are colder than this. Second of all, you cross that 300-pound threshold, cold really kind of stops bothering you. Your bones are insulated quite nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I did dress a little warmer today, though.
Good. Very good.
Which means I'm probably going to get in that tent. They're going to have the heat blowing, and it's going to be about 806 degrees in there.
They did get a heater.
Which is exactly what I was anticipating yesterday, which is why I wore shorts. Then I got in the tent and went, oh, no.
Yeah.
Let that first breath out and went, yeah, I can see that one exiting my body.
Today will hopefully be better for that. 4 to 6 this afternoon at the Ingles on Smoky Park Highway. Jeremy will be down there joining the rest of the crew for the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive benefiting Eblin Charities St. Nicholas Project. You can go by there until 7 o'clock tonight. We'll have people there that you can go by and take a cash donation or a new unwrapped toy to donate for the needy families across western North Carolina that want to make sure that their kids have something to open up on Christmas morning. The need is greater now than it ever has been, obviously, with the situations that we found ourselves in with Hurricane Helene. So if you can give, we encourage you to do so. The Smoky Park Highway, Ingles, 4 to 6. Jeremy will be there at the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive benefiting Eblin Charities St. Nicholas Project.
We have breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
What's the most money you've ever seen bet on one regular season NFL game?
Oh man, I don't even know. Probably like $500,000.
A bettor in Kentucky is betting the Philadelphia Eagles to defeat the Carolina Panthers on Sunday in the money line to the tune of $3.1 million. It is one of the largest wagers in the history of sports betting on an NFL regular season game. That was enough by itself to extend the Eagles' money line from minus 700 to minus 870. Do you know what that bet pays off?
I would probably say $400,000.
$442,800. Look, I'm not a huge Eagle guy in the first place. We are Panthers affiliates. I did not need a reason to pull for the Carolina Panthers. I will now take the voodoo curse off your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't ask for much. But for some dumbass to lose $3.1 million on a wager that would only profit him $400,000 would be the funniest thing I have seen this week. And as somebody that is choosing chaos and is choosing violence, I am here to say, go Panthers.
Wow. What was it, $3.5 million? To win 400.
3.1 to win 442,000.
That seems aggressive to me.
There will be considerable buyback on Carolina. Just throwing that out there.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll continue the previews of the Week 14 games. Plus, we got bangers coming at the end of the hour. Stick with us.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold Friday afternoon, but the trend will be our friend after a cold day today and night tonight. Milder days are ahead. Temperatures going above normal. Sunshine this afternoon. That light breeze will start to taper off a bit. 35. Tonight, clear 15. Some spots will be colder. Saturday, sunshine near 50. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 50s with a chance of showers Sunday night and Monday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. If you have a gun, you have a responsibility to lock it up, to keep it safe every single time. Visit ncsafe.org to learn more. That's ncsafe.org.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Just don't have. You're the other white meat.
Papa J, how can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Asheville, February 5th, Harris Cherokee Center. Tickets on sale now only at jeffdunham.com.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? Oh, I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search Holiday and start listening now. You'll see your local holiday radio station, plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. It's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes!
That is a very important message. I'm going to let you tell your crime story first.
Mine comes from Connecticut. It's about a 42-year-old man named Andrew Kinghorn. Lives in Ellington, Connecticut. He walked into an Italian restaurant called Papa T's. This was a week ago. This is past Friday night, about 6 o'clock. Sat down at the counter, asked for a menu. Shortly after that, after ordering his food, he went into one of the restaurants, went into one of the restrooms, restroom on top of each other. Got confused.
Okay.
Where he spent roughly 15 minutes. He comes out, and now he is completely nude. Just walked out. Swinging. There were children. There were people.
He went full Dan Campbell.
Then there was no wheelbarrow. He was asked to put his clothes back on, which he declined to do. Police were called. He went back into the bathroom, hung out in there, naked, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Cops show up, tell him to put his clothes back on, which he acquiesces and does. He was then arrested. $20,000 bail. What do you think the crimes he was charged with were? You'd think like public nudity, public indecency.
Sure. Yeah.
Risk of injury to a minor and breach of peace.
Risk of injury to a minor. Like a young child or like a guy who works down in the mines?
M-I-N-O-R.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
What's the... I'm confused.
Risk of injury to a minor. Was there an incident with the child?
Nope. He just walked. According to the story, he just walked around. It was like a family restaurant.
I mean, I guess maybe you can going armed to the terror of the public kind of a thing in front of a child. Maybe that's where that falls into. I mean, I would.
Looking at this feller,
like a weird charge.
Looking at this feller, I'm gonna say his nudity is not arming of anything.
You can tell all that.
Well, he's not a real big guy, and he looks like he probably smokes recreational crimes a lot.
Yeah,
I'll never understand why. What is the point of
just going?
I just want to be naked in public. Yeah, I don't even like being naked in my house. I'm afraid there'll be a mirror and I'll be sad.
It's a lot of confidence you got to have for that.
Oh God, when did Andre Smith walk into? Oh God, that's me. Oh no. Oh, that's.
It's like last night we were at the Canton Christmas parade, and I'm sitting there on the float with Eddie Fox before all of it started. You know, we're just talking about stuff, and he said something about wanting to have a statue of himself built, and that he wanted to have the statue built of him in all of his glory. And my only thought was, good for you. If you want to have a public statue with you in all your glory, you must have something to brag about. So good for you, I guess. I don't know.
I don't.
All right, mine's not a crime story. That's why I let you go first. But I do feel like this could be one of the most important messages of the day. Be more Canadian. There's a story out of a little town. It's about 400 miles north of Ontario. It's called Fort Severn First Nation. There was a man and a woman his wife was attacked by a polar bear, and the Canadian man threw himself in front of the bear to save his wife. It's probably one of the most heroic stories I think I've ever heard. And I've always been that guy who, you look at your wife and when you're committing to the relationship, you tell her, I will take a bullet for you. I will protect you at all costs. I think I'm going to have to strive to be more Canadian because I'm really not positive I would jump in front of a polar bear. I doubt it. I would. I would end up the same way that this guy did. He was brutally attacked by the bear. He will survive, though. He did not die, but he suffered severe injuries, they say, from the polar bear. The wife, unharmed, and walked away. That's how this world should be. You should stand up for your woman.
In the YouTube chat, there have been a lot of things said about my story that I cannot say on this show.
Of course.
However, Gomaha23 said maybe the dude resembles Jabba the Hutt or the Hamburglar. No, the best way to describe the guy in my story is he looks kind of like Crank Spencer.
Crank Spencer?
Yeah, if Tank started smoking methamphetamine, he would look like this guy in 3.5 weeks.
Would I lose more weight than Thomas Brown does?
Yes. Yes, you would.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you've already got he's bald as he can be.
Mm-hmm.
Although not giving up to the point of just shaving it, clinging on to them follicles.
Yeah.
Which I've always thought that you would do the same.
I can't. My head is so weirdly shaped. It's just.
Well, you can't go. You can't pull off the bald thing.
Full bald.
I have done full bald once.
Weird. I did it once as well. Did the whole shave your head for cancer thing, and it was at that point where I went, oh dear God, that does not look good at all.
No, it's not. I have a very large scar on the side of my head, and if you took that scar and put it on my face, I would look like a Bond villain.
Mm-hmm.
But just with it on the side of my head, it made people want to ask, what did somebody at one point hit you with?
Yeah.
Was it a hammer or a pickaxe or what causes whatever that is? 'Cause that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy. What?
Stephen Towell said, so the guy in your story was Diamond Dave. A Judy chop. Kind of.
Don't always.
He looks like Sapphire Dave, if that tells you anything. Ninja Star.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. It is
Football Friday.
We still got to get through the rest of the week. 14 games here. We've got the 4 o'clock slate and the primetime games still to cover. So let's go. 4:05 start. There's only one of those games on the slate this week, and that is the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are a 2.5-point favorite at home against the Seahawks. Are you buying in to the Cardinals?
I am. I'm taking Arizona minus the 2.5. I am shocked how much of the handle is on Seattle. 71% of the money seems like a really aggressive. Vegas hasn't bought into Arizona, and I can't really put my finger on why. This, to me, is a coin flip game. If it had been over a field goal, I would have taken Seattle. It's under a field goal, I'll take Arizona.
Over the 44?
I will go under.
Okay.
I think this is going to be there's going to be a lot of battle between the 20s. Probably see a lot of field goal kickers. I have call it a hunch. I think Arizona is going to split this season series. This game is so important to them because it almost becomes impossible for them to make the playoffs with a loss here.
Yes. Yeah. You need to move to 7-6 on the season. You're at home. You have a lot of advantages in this game.
Yeah,
I like Arizona as well.
With a loss here, they would fall to 6-7, and you're not eliminated. But it gets really hard to figure out how you're going to get in.
Yes.
Because you got a Washington team that's on a bye this week that's got a pretty light schedule to end the season.
Right. Tampa and Arizona both have to be chasing the Washington Commanders. You got to get every win that you can at this point if you want to stay alive in the wild card game. Tampa is 2 games where they're both 2 games behind them right now.
Well, you have
a game and a half.
You have a win over them. The Cardinals have a loss to them.
Yes.
So they have the tiebreaker too. So you don't just have to catch them; you got to pass them. This would borderline eliminate you.
I agree, and I think it's one of those games that Jonathan Gannon will have his team ready to play. Arizona wins. I'll take them minus the 2.5. I'm going over the 44. I think there'll be several points scored in this game. 4:25 start for the Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are a 3.5-point favorite.
It's the easiest game of the week to me.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Didn't think about it for 2 seconds.
Really?
Fired Coach Bump. Fired Coach Bump, a San Francisco team that I believe they can be physically eliminated this week, depending on how things go, from anything but the division.
Yep. I thought we were going to differ on that one. I mean, I don't know why I ever expected that you would give a vote of confidence to the San Francisco 49ers, but I thought there was a chance you might on this one.
Sorry, I don't really believe in Isaac Garindo. It's not really doing much for me.
It's a nice entrance by you. Plus the 3.5 for the Chicago Bears under the 44. Or are you going over?
You'd think that I would pull all these games and then I would pick that at the time.
I
did not. I'll go under. I feel like I've gone under a lot.
You have gone under quite a lot today on these games. All right, and then Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Rams.
Bills.
Buffalo Bills minus the 3.5 feels like the easiest thing on the week. One of the easiest things on the week.
What I said about the Arizona Cardinals, that Vegas has not bought into them, they've done the exact opposite with the Rams. They're really refusing to let this die. In the Vegas power rankings, the Rams are still 14th, which is too high. Straight up, it's too high. The Bills are one of the best teams in the league against the spread. This is not going to be a Rams home game because you're going to get West Coast Bills fans that don't get the chance to see their team very often, and that stadium is going to be really blue and red. I think this is a hammer spot.
Really? You think it gets out of control? I think
it could beat the Rams by 30, and it wouldn't surprise me.
It would surprise me that if it got that out of control. I think LA can keep up. I don't think they're going to win. I do think it could be an entertaining game, though, and that's one of the reasons that I picked it for the daily draft. Because when you have that,
you got to be able to keep that pass rush off Matthew Stafford, and they can't do it.
Yeah. Whenever you have good quarterbacks going head to head like that, you're going to have some splash plays. You're going to have some excitement. So I think that is going to happen. But I am with you on the Bills winning this game. Over under the 49.5.
I will go over because I think the Bills are going to contribute 80% of that themselves.
Okay.
I'll say this game's 41-10.
Okay. I'm over the 49.5 as well. I think it'll be markedly closer than that.
Gambit fans said they're due for a disappointing loss. You're right.
They are.
But I don't think it's coming this week.
Mm-hmm. Sunday Night Football, Los Angeles Rams, Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are a 4-point favorite. I'm on the Chargers plus the 4. I think this is the week that the Chiefs got.
I really, really want to go with you. But I'm not going to do it.
But you can't do it.
But I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
It feels like the public narrative on the Chiefs has turned to such a point that this in a primetime slot, Sunday Night Football is the glamour game of the week. It used to be Monday Night Football, now it's Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
I believe at home in Arrowhead, even though it's going to be warmer than you would expect, I don't love Justin Herbert outside. I don't really love Justin Herbert in primetime games. And this feels like a spot that for public narrative, the Chiefs really need to be impressive here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do they need to be? You'd like for them to be. The narrative would serve better if they could be.
One of the things that's so hard for teams to repeat, three-peat, all of these things, is keeping the momentum of your fan base, keeping your home field advantage a real home field. That's one of the things Kansas City's always had. Is Arrowhead's one of the toughest places in the NFL to play.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not careful, you're going to fall into kind of an apathy of you've been so bad against the spread, you're never really impressive, that you almost kind of get fat and happy of, well, we've won 2 Super Bowls in a row, and you don't have that edge anymore. I watched this happen in New England at one point. They just expected to win, and so you lost that edge that they had at Gillette. Gillette was awful to play in for a long time. Then there was a stretch where it was not nearly as bad. Maybe I'm going three-dimensional chess here. I think the Chiefs need this game really badly.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll leave Monday's game to talk about on Monday. How
Correct.
about that? We got to take a break here. When we come back, Jeremy will give you his bangers for the weekend.
Are you going to start the new year dealing with the same old joint pain, losing sleep, not able to take walks, or do what you love because your knees or hips? Don't do it. Take action now to get the pain relief you deserve for 2025. Call QC Kinetics now. Say goodbye to shoulder and back pain. QC Kinetics local medical professionals are waiting for you. Their advanced protocols and regenerative medicine have helped tens of thousands of people. I'm talking lasting relief. Imagine a new year without those achy joints. No more pain pills, no more steroid shots. QC Kinetics uses the healing properties of your own body to attack the root cause of your pain, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. This is the future of medicine. If you've been told surgery is your best or only option, you deserve a second opinion. Find out if all-natural regenerative medicine is right for you. Call QC Kinetics. The consultation is free, and you can use HSA and FSA dollars. Live your best life in 2025. Get started now. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Is Cialis Daily really better than Viagra?
If you like spontaneity, the answer is yes. So when the mood strikes, you're ready to go.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is definitely much happier.
When you take it, you're ready to go. Does Cialis Daily last longer than Viagra?
Guys are raving that their results last even longer.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star.
Because it is effective, I say I'm on a second honeymoon.
It's literally life-changing.
Are 30-day sample packs available?
You can now access a 30-day sample pack at TryRexMD.com with generics if appropriate. Online approval at TryRexMD.com is simple, with medication delivered direct to your door. There's no copay, no doctor office visit, and your shipping is always free. Visit TryRexMD.com to get your sample pack. That's TryRexMD.com.
Join us December 11th for Venture Asheville Honors, a telethon celebrating entrepreneurial resilience. On December 11th from 6 to 9 at the Orange Peel, our goal is to raise $1 million for Optimist Ventures, supporting local businesses impacted by Hurricane Helene. Enjoy live performances, comedy, and inspiring stories from entrepreneurs. Tickets are $35 and include food and drink. Visit ventureasheville.com/venture15 for details. ventureasheville.com/venture15.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The coffee's the closers only. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Last set of bangers for the not really regular season, but before the playoff in college football or the bowl games. And we're going to start with a banger. It's my favorite pick of the week. I call it the achy breaky, no mistakey. Jacksonville State's a 5-point favorite against Western Kentucky, and that's top 5 worst lines I've ever seen in my entire life. Yes, there are rumors that Jacksonville head coach Rich Rodriguez could be headed back to West Virginia. I don't think that's enough to keep his team from playing from him, and this is a huge talent mismatch. Give me Jacksonville State minus the 5. Next, Oregon's a 3.5-point favorite against Penn State. They'll cover that in the first 3 minutes, and they will never look back. This is going to look really bad on television. Penn State can't score. Oregon is very large, and they can play this game with you. Penn State's going to try to run. I don't think it works. Give me the Ducks minus 3.5. Texas is a 2.5-point favorite against Georgia. It is really, really hard to beat a team a second time in a season. When they have already seen you, we have already seen this. I feel like Texas needs this game more than Georgia, even though Georgia could end up on the road with a loss. Georgia has success to fall back on. Texas falls flat in these situations a lot. And I think you need that push going into the playoff. Give me the Longhorns minus 2.5. SMU is a 2.5-point favorite against Clemson. This is the devil I know versus the devil I don't. I've watched SMU. They're really hard to get a beat on because the schedule they played was so bad. I went back and watched what they did to Pittsburgh, and I compared Clemson to what they did to Pittsburgh. Clemson should have lost Pittsburgh. SMU eviscerated them. And if you watch those two offenses with a static sample set like that, it's really obvious that SMU is way better. They also need this. You have a lot of Dallas boosters. Trust me, that stadium's got a lot of cowboy hats. Give me SMU minus the 2.5. It was really hard to find these this week, but I found 2 that I like.
Underdog, 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 underdog.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. Iowa State's a 2-point dog against Arizona State. I think Iowa State's the better of these two teams. Arizona State's been propped up by a very weak back end of the schedule. I just don't think they're very good. Iowa State's the better coached of the two teams. I like Matt Campbell, and at some point he's got to win one of these, and this might be his last shot at Iowa State. And finally, my upset special of the week, UNLV, the Fighting Barry Odoms, are beating Boise State, and they are going to make this really uncomfortable when they play Penn State at Happy Valley and get beat 67-4. But UNLV's winning the Mountain West and sending Ashton Junty to the NFL.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Join Jeremy at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway in just an hour. 4 to 6, he will be out there this afternoon. Come on by, bring a donation for the Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Eblin Charities St. Nicholas Project. We will see you on Monday.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold Friday afternoon, but the trend will be our friend after a cold day today and night tonight. Milder days are ahead. Temperatures going above normal. Sunshine this afternoon. That light breeze will start to taper off a bit. 35. Tonight, clear 15. Some spots will be colder. Saturday, sunshine.